Da, 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 da. Flashing. Good. We got it. There's stuff. There's things. I'm so tired. Oh, we're dropping frames. Oh, my uploads aren't done. So I'm gonna drop some frames here because I'm uploading. I ran out of content completely. I just filmed what is now Sunday and Monday this morning. Thank God. Yeah, the speed is looking bad. I don't even know how much is. There we go. It's looking better again. All right. I thank you, loyal few, for joining me from your day shift at the mine. I realize now. Swing this out of the way. I realize now I didn't phrase that question correctly when I put the poll on the thing. I was just looking to see like if people were available. I don't know. Oh, it's dropping. We're dropping frames like crazy because both of those videos for Sunday and Monday are still uploading, and they're going to be uploading for probably another 30 minutes. So we'll see how bad this continues to be because they're going to be pulling all the bandwidth. I'm going to fight for bandwidth. Mr. Clark, yes, I barely survived Anime Expo. I'm going to see if I can renegotiate my contract for next year so that I can go on day 1 and day 3 instead of day 1 and day 2. It was too much. I had forgotten. Oh man, I'm so tired. If I neglect complete thoughts, that will be why. But there's no, and I don't say this as lip service, but there's really no place I would rather be right now because I just spent 2 days at the LA Convention Center, and it was absolutely exhausting. Absolutely, this thing is dropping 8% of frames. I don't know how bad it's gonna look. I don't know how. We'll get to it. We'll see. We'll you know what? We'll see. We will see. We'll see if I can catch the ads. What was the highlight of the day at the expo? Okay. Let's get the real. Let's get the real. Yeah, not allowed to say when it ended. Let's get the real harsh honesty out of the way first. When I arrive in the morning and I park underneath LA Live, right next to the crypto arena, I look at my watch and I think, when do I get to leave? Honestly, because it's not my thing, is what it is. It's not my thing. Like, yeah, I've got some Luffys and stuff. I watch animes to what I would consider to be a normal amount. I watch like a normal amount of anime, I guess. It's too much, man. It's too much. And there's so many people. I was told by a photographer that was there that Anime Expo is the biggest con of that type in the world. Anime Expo Los Angeles is the biggest one in the world. And I believe it. I will say this. Okay, so the highlight, Andre, let me tell you, the highlight is last year, whoever they hired to do event management, they bungled it so hard. They were calling it LineCon 2023 because there were people that were waiting in line for an hour and a half to get into the building, to get into the halls. And it was not like that this year. They completely revamped it. There was like, I would say 40 or 50 food trucks or food stalls outside. There was never a line inside to get the inside the venue food. It was just way better. Instead of opening the doors at 10, they opened them at 9. So people just filtered in. It was so much better run than it was last year. It was incomparable to last year's performance. It was much better in that aspect. Parking was easier. It was day 1 on 4th of July, which here in the Americas is a holiday. And then Friday, 5th of July, most people had it off. No traffic on the way there. No traffic on the way back. Not on the 4th, not on the 5th. My wife got there this morning in an hour. It's 68 miles away. No traffic for 3 days. That part, all of the stuff around it, it was great. It was great. I like walking around the halls. I like looking at the stuff. I like shopping for little things. I avoided spending copious amounts of money by having a target. I say, what is it? What's the old stereotypical generalization? Men don't shop, they buy. And I was not there to shop. I wanted a Spike Spiegel figure from Cowboy Bebop, and I found 2 booths in the exhibition hall that had Spike Spiegel, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to do that terrible, terrible thing, and I'm going to look it up on the internet. It's cheaper on the internet. I can buy one on Amazon and have it tomorrow. I could have a Spike Spiegel tomorrow. So I didn't buy any. I bought nothing for myself. I bought my wife some stuff at a place called Belzy, that they make these very super cute stuffed animals. And one of them was a hedgehog. The wife's got a thing for hedgehogs, so about that. And the kid was genuinely enjoying it. Both of my kids are there today. The older one will have ditched mom because he has a long-distance girlfriend. Long distance is the wrong distance. We will see how that works out. But all I know is I don't have to be there today. What I do know is yesterday I got very dehydrated. It is noon here, and I have drank almost a gallon of water today. I got really badly dehydrated yesterday, which is a thing that, like, when you're indoors, you never really anticipate head-splitting dehydration to happen. But boy, did it. I am still, like, my throat is raw and my head hurts. But I know what it is. I've been here before. I've heat exhausted myself before. So it, overall it wasn't bad. It's the standing. It's the standing. I don't stand, like, right now. So I'm standing on the leftover flooring. That's what's right straight down here. The leftover flooring from when we did the house. We did bamboo flooring in the house because it's renewable or whatever. We had about 2 boxes extra. I did the spot underneath my workbench out of the bamboo flooring. There's like a teardrop shape where I'm wearing through the top surface because I'm constantly like I don't stand like this. I'm like, so I'm moving all the time, and it was the standing. It was the standing that kills me. I don't mind if, for those of you not from here, LA Convention Center is really big, really, really big. And the way it's divided up, are we getting a white? Before I do anything vaguely RC related, we're just here. We're just hanging out. It's a Saturday. We're not ordinarily here on a Saturday. We're mixing things up. Well, I wanted to be here on a Friday, but you know what? What do they say? What is it that they say about adulthood? Adulthood is doing the stuff you don't want to do in order to pay for or give you time to do the things you do want to do. So we'll see at about 12:30 if those uploads complete. I'm just going to use circles and hope it doesn't look too much like... No, we'll use a circle and a square. Okay. So this is a terrible drawing, and it's not to scale because the building is actually curved as well. And then I think this... No, this one is called east. And this one is called south. So the LA Convention Center has South Hall, which is the giant round building that you see on the thing. And there's like, it's like glass and it's really tall. And then there's this big connecting walkway, which isn't really a walkway. It has like all the exhibition rooms and stuff. And then the East Hall has a big part under it. So this is like 2 levels. This one's also 2 levels. This has parking lot C under it, and that's where the Artist's Alley is. And if you were to ask me what the least favorite part, it's Artist's Alley because it's boiling hot down there. And there's like 10,000 people in this tiny area. This thing is like, it has to be over a quarter of a mile long. It goes over, like there's a street that runs under it right here, like a full 4-lane road. So if you're here, where you are here at this entrance, and there's another entrance to this one, and then Crypto Arena is right here. So if you want to walk from this entrance to this entrance, it's like 10 minutes. It's so big. And there's so many people. I think they said last year the paid attendance, like passes sold, was 135,000. And I think the only way they can track that is by passes sold. But we buy 4-day passes. So the actual number of people on each individual day, who knows? Who knows? They put the hentai section in the basement this year. That helped. It legitimately helped. It's usually in the main hall, and they put it underneath the main hall, which is fine. Like, the people that are into that can go down into the basement. Bill Truitt went to the LA car show there, and it was exhausting. It's so big. It's so big that it's one of those places where you'd never imagine having to walk that far, spend that much time walking, and never go outside of the building. Then there's a whole nother outer, like there's a big Marriott hotel across next to it, because there's Crypto Arena, formerly Staples Center, where the Lakers play and the Sparks play. And then there's LA Live, which is like where they do concerts and all sorts of whatever there. So luckily there was nothing big happening while we were there. There was a Sparks game Friday night, but if Caitlin Clark isn't playing, a WNBA game is going to pull like 3,500 people. So it wasn't like there was a lot of extra traffic. We got in and out in a hurry. Hello from New Jersey, humid and nasty. Here it's about 100 degrees right now, but the relative humidity outside is probably like 10 or 11%. So it's very humid in here because I've had the swamp cooler going because I knew I was going to come out here for a couple hours. And if you don't pre-cool the building, the swamp cooler is not powerful enough to cool the building down. If the building gets hot, the building's going to stay hot. So I'm just sitting over here staring, looking at the... Mr. Saxon asked, what did you dress up like? So I dressed as I mentioned I would, disgruntled dad. I wear comfortable shoes. I have this like sling pack, not like a backpack. It's the single sling, but it's all like tactical and it has like the straps on it and stuff, and a bunch of like carabiners on it because I'm there just to be a mule, and I carry a lot of stuff all day. Most of the first day, I would have the sling pack on my front and be wearing my wife's Totoro backpack on my back, and it was emotionally and physically killing me, and mentally killing me as well, because I felt like someone was squeezing me like that. And I was carrying about 35 pounds of stuff between the front pack and the backpack, and it just, I feel like I'm at a job. The first day kind of flew by. The second day, my legs and knees and back were already ruined from the first day. So day 2 was arduous, and I was so happy to come home. And then I was excited that I didn't have to get up the next day and do it again. God bless my wife. I don't know how she does 3 days. And she cosplayed 2 of the 3 days. She went, she's there as Sophie from Howl's Moving Castle today. And my youngest is Juzo from Tokyo Ghoul. All these things mean nothing to anyone except the people that attend these sort of conventions. And my son is something from like a video game. I don't know. I had to make the stuff for it, but I don't know what most of it is. They show me a picture, and I have been for many years what I call a Pinterest facilitator, which is somebody shows me a picture, and then I make that thing. I don't know what it's for. I don't know what it's about. I know the conference rules, and I make the things, but that's about it. I don't know what I'm doing. And let's be honest about it. I don't really want to know. Did you see my LC80 build pictures in Discord for my build? How did I do for my... You did fantastic. it doesn't matter if that's the first build or the 7th build. You did fantastic on that. That thing is going to be, I can tell you right now, that thing is going to be weighty. That is going to be like driving an anchor. Yeah, well, I mean, like I say, right now, my wife is at day 3 of Anime Expo 2024. And I am not at Anime Expo 2024. And I am currently psyching myself up knowing that there is a 99.5% chance that I will be attending Anime Expo 2025. So even though I prepare myself for it, they're less ready than I am. My one rule, it's not even really a rule, but my one thing that I say to the group is no last minute. And then what do I get to do every year? Last minute. Every time. I was working on cosplay stuff last night after I came back from Anime Expo, and I did not like it. I was not happy. And I don't have to work on anything cosplay again for the foreseeable future. And I am going to force the younger one. The younger one is the one that does it more. I am going to force them to enter into a contract with me that, like, I want the costumes, I want the cosplays, I want everything decided by, like, December of this year. I want the stuff to be done by March. And there might be a way I can work out of this, because there's a small version, a tiny local version of Anime Expo that takes place here in November in Ontario. It's like Anime Expo Chibi or something. I don't look too far into it. But if I can talk the kid into getting their stuff ready by November, maybe we'll go to that one for one day. And if I can, I will bear a day at the Ontario Convention Center if it means that I'll have stuff done 6 months before the event happens. Oh, well, builds are never done. That's the thing. They might be finished. But they're never done. I accidentally ordered a set. Yeah, it happens. I can say that I accidentally ordered a set of green silicones. I think I had intended to order a class 1. And I have a set of those. Do I have a set of those hanging here? Are they on the other pegs? No, I have a set of class 1 blue. I think it was that I saw them on Amazon and they were like $16. And I was like, oh, I'll order that. This thing, we've dropped 14% of frames. I also did not do my due diligence. I was late in getting out here because my brain wasn't in the mode yet. I'm still foggy. And usually I restart the computer, but I did not restart the computer, so. So we have uploads in progress that I should have uploaded after the stream. We've dropped 5,000 of 37,000 frames. So we've dropped 14%. If memory serves, the last stream, however many hours that was, I think we dropped about 100. Oh, the bit rate is falling. I'm getting all the warnings popping up. I accidentally ordered 2 Trucks of Fortune. But did you really do you mean you accidentally ordered 2? We will all say a little prayer for you to the Lords of Rock and Stone that you don't get an optic. Let's do that. What do you think of the Voodoo MTX? I don't know. Did I test the MTX? I don't remember if I did. Is that the newer one? Or is that the... Yeah, because I'm thinking KLRM. I don't think I've tested the MTX. Is the MTX the one that's vaguely Pro X looking? Yeah, that one I haven't gotten to yet. I don't think. I have a bunch of... So the next week is going to be kind of clouded up with tire reviews. I ordered a bunch of... there was a picture on the Discord of me assembling a bunch of cheap 105s. I'm running out of... I keep stealing my own test wheels for use on builds. This is a test set. So they had some Globacts or HYBDX or whatever they were on the cheap. So I ordered a bunch of sets of cheap 105s. What would the overdrive ratio be in a base camp with just 724 in the front? 20%. I don't think a base camp has any. I think you would just be at 20%, which is a good number. But remember to go down in KV quite an amount. Like if you're gonna run like an 1800, you want to run like a 1400. I'm a Shiro Masamune fan, but that just shows my age. Not sure he's done anything since. Oh, I was talking to a guy when we met the photographer guy that was taking pictures of like promo material. There was a guy that was there from Nebraska and basically had no idea what was going on. Like he knows that from college or whatever, knows the photographer guy. And he was like, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do here. He's all, this is not my thing. And I was like, join the club, my friend. And he goes, no, but really, like, what should I be looking at? And I go, you're asking the wrong guy. My favorite anime of all time is Cowboy Bebop, and it came out like 25 years ago. I go, I also like Full Metal Alchemist, which came out 25 years ago. And I go, anime for me still exists around the year 2000. So I'm definitely the wrong guy to ask. So if your preference in anime trends towards the old stuff, I'm right there with you. I don't have the time nor the tolerance for these newfangled animes with like 800 episodes, 1,000 episodes. Cowboy Bebop was like 26. They said I need to check out a series called Big O. And following the completion of today's festivities, I may indeed check out an anime called Big O. I'm betting 99% of trucks of fortune will be H10 optics. You have the X4 Narrows that I sent for the MB. Well, yeah, Lieutenant TH. Yes, I do. Those are mounted. Yes, the newer one. Yeah, I have not tested the MTX then. I picked up one of the DLX LCG Trans OD3. Do you have any experience with that trans? The OD3? Yeah. Scarlet is running one, and the twins were originally built to run OD3s, but the twins are basically sort of like test vehicles, not official test vehicles, but they're like testing this thing against that thing. And it was far too difficult to, like, making a pinion change on that OD3 is terrible. Like, it's like a 15-minute procedure. And I was like, I can't do this. So they both got replaced out with Stealth X's, which are very easy to work on. And one of the OD3s went in Scarlet, and the other OD3 will be going in an upcoming build. I'm not sure what. But yeah, the OD3s are great. Just not if you have to make things like pinion changes, and you have no control over the spur change. I mean, the spur is part of it; it's internal. And I know that they say that thing is what is it? They say it's a portal trans, but it's got 366 internal, so it's really more suited to a straight axle than it is a portal, in my opinion. Or maybe I have it backwards and it's supposed to be for straight axles. The fella I got this from managed to strip a portal gear. It happens. I want to buy crawler parts, but I keep having to buy real car parts. Having to buy or wanting to buy. I've clogged up my leather punch, so I'm over here trying to, I think I punched like a hairband with it, and now it's clogged. Appleseed, Dominion Tank Police, Ghost in the Shell. Okay. So Rudy is right there with us. He's right there. He's in the group. He's he's watching the stuff that's all too old for the kids now. I clogged this thing real bad. I don't know if I have a pick that is small enough. So because this is a cheap leather punch and I've been using it for like 20 years, I need to find something that will fit through that hole, but be long enough to go all the way down and push the stuff out of there, because I can't pick it out this way. I like South Park and Rick and Morty. I still consider Avatar: The Last Airbender to be an anime, even though some people might not, because, you know, it's not actually made in Japan. Oh, so I basically need something 1.5 millimeter. I used to have these wires for holding up insulation. The bendy kind. I bet I could get one through there. The other option is... Okay, this is unwise. This is unwise. Let's see if I can cram this dry slide tube through and knock this stuff out without bending the dry slide tube. No, it's bending the dry slide tube. So I need something solid for that. I could also wander around and try to find my tire punch, my other punch, but I don't know where my other punch is. Try a bit of welding wire. Ooh, welding, you know what? Welding wire might work. It's getting new Portal Overdrive. Okay. Yeah, my final drive in would be like 85-1 on Portals in an OD3. Yeah, like... It's the perfect, Mr. Parker has built himself a rig that he could actually, like, he could run one of those 2800 motors and it would be fine because he's got an absurd amount of gear reduction. I like gear reduction, and I guess I got enough of it picked out that it's working. It's allowing me to punch holes at least. Oh, I'm getting behind again. Sad and aggravating that my Anjora wheels direct from China beat my chassis from San Diego as far as shipping. Yeah. Well, I think, aren't they technically going, are they going the same distance or less distance? I don't know. Is San Diego closer to the UK? Or is China? What? It feels like China's closer, right? You guys are basically, you guys are almost attached. I also had a package take 5 days to get me from San Diego, so maybe it's just the curse of San Diego. It was very nice to see they added 2 new kits, but by the time I got there, they were sold out. I'm in no hurry. No hurry at all. Someone, and I don't know, this is just this is secondhand information. Someone had mentioned that they're putting sintered gears in the axles on the VRD kits now. I don't like that. I don't like that. A drill bit would, Last Creations, a drill bit would work great. I just don't know if I have a drill bit that's long enough. At least not 1.5. Now, if I have 2 1.5 drill bits, somewhere in a drawer around here, I also have drill stock that I use to make like pins and whatnot. That would work. I really want to get this thing cleaned out. Get a little tappy hammer. Oh, is there? Oh, I missed it. I missed it. Someone just said dang ads, which means I missed it. Oh, geez. Voltron. Oh, man, I love Voltron. I love Voltron. I'm a 5 Lions man. I'm a 5 Lions, not a 20 vehicles man. It's all about the Lions. Hey, crawlers. Hey, Steel City crawlers. It's probably humid where he is. Is Miata here today? Yes. Oh, it's on a 2250 kV outrunner. What, Mr. Parker? What would you say your guess on the top speed would be on that 2250? So it turns out when I tapped 2 drill bits together, they're just swaged in. So I knocked the whole thing out. Now I should be able to punch these things out no problem. Yeah. Oh yeah, look at that. So I punched through something that that's solid plastic. I can't believe I didn't break this thing. You're not supposed to punch your leather punch through like 4 millimeters thick of solid plastic. Now let me see if I can get that punch back in. I didn't know these came out, and the truth of the tale is they're probably not so... Oh, you just do this. Yeah. Hey! We're back in business. Since 2 weeks ago, I'm carless too, as both my cars decided to blow their engines a few months apart. I know you're feeling the last weeks were spent deciding what to buy gas. I wish... Oh, RC Maniac is in Georgia. RC Family is in the UK. Yeah, then it's just the San Diego thing. Ooh, 4S. Yeah, that'll do it. Portal kits needed, not so much on straight axles. Ads. Missed it. Actually, 3 to 4 miles an hour on a 2250 on 4S. That's a lot of gear reduction. I was just talking to someone here, and I said that my goal, I want to build a vehicle with an irrational amount of gear reduction, and then put something I want to put like a 4,000 kV in it, because I think if I take F10s and put the underdrive gears in the portals and 833s in both axles, and then run like a Stealth X or an OD3, I think can get somewhere. Like a Stealth X would probably be the best option. I can probably get to like 150 to 1 on the total gear reduction. Or I could build my own gearbox. I could build a gearbox with like 20 to 1 internal and then get like 200 or 220 to 1 gear reduction. Inspired by those guys, they take Lego gears and they make those Googleplex things that will take 1 billion years for the final gear to make one revolution. Leather punch, that's what you use. Yeah. This is just this is a super cheap one. I have one that has changeable tips and the whole thing. I've had this leather punch for ever. I bought this long before RC stuff, for like punching holes in belts. Because you're too fat for your belt now. You got to make your belt bigger. I found out that the drill bits that come with a Dremel can only drill one hole in metal. Second hole, they made a nice dimple. Yeah, they're not going to give you good drill bits. They're definitely not. There's a Cobalt set on Amazon that are outstanding. My wife bought it for me for, I want to say, Christmas. And it came in a little pink case, and it's the best drill bit set in the world because it goes 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5. It has 0.5 millimeter increments all the way up. And it's so good because I have a tendency to do that thing that we around here call woodworkering, which is I have a 5 millimeter thing. I'll make a 5 millimeter shaft to try to fit in that 5 millimeter hole. When you're drilling a hole for like a body mount, just drill it 0.5 millimeter over and then the post will actually fit. So the 0.5 millimeter drill bits have been an absolute godsend for me. Is that Biddy Design Rockland body thick like Proline or thin like a creep? It's definitely thick. Let's see. Is it attached? Not really. Let me see. I've not actually like measured the edges. I've measured it like this. So the thinnest we're going to see is going to be down here. And we got to do it in inches because I don't know what the millimeters mean. Yeah, 030. 030 at the bottom. So up here on the rib, like 050. Like it's properly thick. There's no, yeah, 030. Real consistent down at the bottom, 030. That's going to be very common. Yeah, even all the way down at the bottom, like 030 all the way around. Yeah, definitely not like what you're going to get out of a creep cab or the Amazon AliExpress knockoff MST FJ40. That thing is quite literally paper thin. I think the back of it was like 0.0005, 20 thousandths of an inch thick. It's too thin. Woo. You'll see the Zoku surprise when the damn thing's... Well, no, that's the thing, Mr. Creations. I would love to find out, because I don't think anyone has sought to find it out before, at what point is too much gear reduction too much gear reduction? Like, is there a point of diminishing returns? We know that the higher kV a motor has, or the lower turns a motor has, the more power it makes. So it's just generating more power. So would we not benefit from having 100-to-1 gear reduction and just running higher RPM? Because the motor will see it as less load. It will appear to the motor to be less load. So I would probably start off seeing what it will do, what kind of havoc it's going to cause on like a 1080 G2 or a 1080 G1 on a brush system. I want to see like a 6.5 turn brushed motor on a rock crawler. Like, what kind of torque are we talking? I'm assuming a lot. Putting a fusion in this rig with the OD3, so it should be... Oh, okay, yeah. My next build is going to have a 2-speed, but it also should have a 2-speed transfer case and maybe portal axles too. So that's going to be something, yeah. Yeah, when I first put the Tranquish together with an Amazon Digbox and TRX4 axles, it was 94.5-to-1 was the final. And I didn't own a motor that would make it go fast enough. Like, it would top out around 1.5 miles an hour. I got an RC four-wheel drive 90-turn brush motor I picked up on a sale. Might have said it might be good. It was a tank, yeah. Yeah, so as the turn numbers go higher and higher and higher, the motor's making less and less and less power. They are getting more efficient, but they are going to just, across the board, they're going to generate less torque. And I want to get as much torque as I can. I also want to see if that number ever stops being red. Drop frames 5,400 out of 70,000. That's a lot. That's a lot. But those uploads have definitely finished, because it's looking pretty smooth now. You don't have to get the XHX pins too juiced up to get them to mount, but it does just make it easier. It makes it a lot easier. And if I'm here for anything, it's to make it easier. I just love the creep cab. The creep cab has to be one of my absolute favorites, because they're so cheap and they look good. And particularly, I mentioned it, I'm certain I mentioned it in the videos when I did it, and I'll mention it again right now. If you've never painted a patina and you want to paint a patina, order a J Concepts creep body. It's the perfect body for it, because it's not too big. It doesn't have like little creased bed edges that the paint is not going to want to get into. If you mess it up, you can cut it up. You can do whatever you want to. It's a $20 body. You're not going to feel bad about it. I have an AGFRC 42 kg servo, and it seems weak. Anyway, to wake it up from factory, running a Hobbywing Quick Infusion and a fly skin controller, any advice would be greatly appreciated. What application are you running it on? 42 kg is a little... I mean, it's a little low if you're running, say, chassis-mounted steering, big knuckles, heavy wheels. Like if it's having to move a lot of weight, heavy wheels or big tires. You can get away with like a 35 kg on servo on axle, because I say it that it's almost like doubling the effective torque, because it doesn't have to fight against a panhard bar. All it's doing is pushing the wheels side to side like that. So a 42 kg is, I mean, I have a handful of 45s running 40s, and depending on your application, it might be enough, but a 42 kg might also feel weak depending on the application. Chemo Crawler's ordering one for his ZRD. I really like it. I mean, I know it's kind of polarizing, the look of the body, but I appreciate above all else that the Biddy Design Rock 1 looks like a truck. When I see it, I think, hey, that looks like a truck. And the fitment should you go too far and Phoenix your VRD? I've talked to Zoku and I'm trying to convince him, and I know he does. So the whole RC thing is his side. I guess what the youths today call a side hustle. It's his side thing. He's a working guy and he's got a kid and he's got the whole thing. I'm trying to convince him to make VRD/ZRD sliders that have the holes to mount Phoenix sides on it. We'll see if I can talk him into it. Because I would love that. Constant greasing of the gearbox. So too many gears is going to use more grease. I'm not too concerned about that because I overfill gearboxes all the time. Fusion fixes everything. We need more. Somebody get on the blower to Hobby Wing right away and tell them we need a handful more Fusion Pros. I would be content to see. I will accept as low as a 3,500, but I would, yeah, let's call it I was going to say 4,000, but let's go with a 3,500. We need a Fusion. They can call it the Fusion U4 and give us a Fusion for with higher KV, like a 3,500. People buy it. And now the pre-runners are getting so popular, I think a Fusion solution for U4 and pre-runner would be great. We need an HD creep cab like 040 thick. Agreed. Woody has a lot. Stealth X with TRX4. Yeah, that's why Woody is very slow. Tranquish was basically the same setup. Amazon Digbox with TRX4. If you just want a lot of gear reduction, you just put TRX4 axles on it. What's the chance of giving Old Blue another chance on Mavericks, but with a better radio? If time is permitting, and I feel like I have the energy to do so, we're building up a number. I feel like we're almost getting one a week of rigs that should get a bonus round just to see if they can improve their time. But at the same time, I feel like that's not fair to everyone else. Because everyone else had to run how they were run. And, I mean, despite the fact that he got the best time, Jake the Snake shoved a suspension link through his own tire. Yeah, we do need an HD creep. How about more? Well, they keep everything. They just keep making everything thinner. Tires are getting thinner. Bodies are getting thinner. The only body I give full acceptance to for being thinner is that Tough Color Cliffhanger from Proline, because they're marketing it wrong. They should be like, this is the comp body. It weighs 100. It weighs under 100 grams for a full body. They're not talking about it enough. They just say, when people read Tough Color, I think they automatically assume it's thick. And it is absolutely not. Oh, yes. Yes. Miata Commuter pointed out, set the BEC as high as you can. Yeah. Regardless of what the servo says, if it says it's a 7.4, set it to 8.4. If your BEC will do, oh, it was a Fusion? Yeah, set it to 8.4. The HX pins are doing good for me on some Majora greens. Yeah. They are better on 3Ds, but when I bought these, they were $16 a set for the green inserts. So I was like, yeah, I could do that. Oh, so as to Old Blue, I want to put Old Blue on an RC4 on a radio link. Someone had pointed out that they think Jolly Green should get another go. There was one other. I think we have 3 rigs that could certainly benefit from going around again, but I question the overall fairness. Miata Commuter has requested not to put Old Blue through Mavericks. Like I said, he's only got to make it around once, and he doesn't have to be fast. He just has to do it. Now, will I hold my breath the whole time he's trying to get through the skewers? Yes. Yes, I will. Did you see the colored ZRD rails? Yeah, he said he got a couple runs of what is it, silver and one and another color, 2 colors. I don't trust colored carbon fiber for some reason. Once I learned that colored tires don't work because it does something to the rubber. The only guys that should be allowed to run colored tires are drift cars because they're just going to turn their tires into smoke anyway. Live on a Saturday, my Gozer body just showed up at my door. What a great day. Good old Gozer. Oh, constant high-speed spinning. Yeah. Hey, Curtis's daughter Quinn is saying hi from one Ghibli fan to another. There were so many Sophies at Anime Expo. So many. Young Sophies and old Sophies. And, this would definitely go into my highlight column. There was a gentleman, I assume a gentleman, the shoes looked like gentleman shoes, who was dressed as a Totoro cosplay yesterday. But I called him Ozempic Totoro. I said that I just wanted to feed him a sandwich because he made the whole fur outfit. It had big eyes on it, but he was very slim. It looked like Totoro had lost too much weight too fast. So it was kind of sad in a semi-comic kind of way. I just wanted to help poor Totoro out. But I mean, I get it. I also saw a giraffe. There was a guy dressed as what looked like an old Jeffrey the Giraffe outfit from Toys R Us, which is living rent-free in my head now. I'm just thinking about it. Zoku has got to be sorry he met you. I mean, he'd seen the videos. I have to assume he knew what he was getting into. Confirm that the Amazon Blue case is the best servo, especially for the money. I have 2 reef servers on other rigs and we'll be just using Amazon from now on. The $29, usually like Zosuke or whatever they're sold as, it is well and truly enough servo for... I mean, I feel like even saying 80% of builds isn't a high enough number. Like, when we're buying servos above and beyond that, we're buying them because we want them, not because we need them. I've lost count of how many blue cases are being run here. Non-pros, just the regular $29.99 version. They have just about the right amount of speed. They have just about the right amount of torque. Some things they're not quite enough for. Well, that outer bearing was tight. Silver was what I ordered before he announced it. Hopefully it looks insane. I want to make this trolley. Yeah, metallic creep cab. Jake's been my boy since I first saw him grabbing rocks like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible. His runs, I still think about that run he did. It was like a Versus on a Wheelin' Wednesday, and it was a run on Deadline, and Jake absolutely murdered it. He absolutely murdered it. So he may well be the guy. Now, we haven't run everybody at Deadline. We certainly haven't run everybody at Mavericks. But Jake is the guy to beat at Mavericks, and he may well be the guy to beat at Deadline as well. Ready to see someone make carbon Kevlar rails. I have a boat hull made from it. It's a great color and pattern like stacks of bones. Anyone escaping the heat out there, dodging it from SoCal here? Nah, I'm in it. Oh, it was so funny. The photographer yesterday said, I'm so sorry for asking you guys to come out in this. I know it's so hot. And I looked down at my watch, and it was 85 degrees. And I was like, I turned to my wife, and I go, this guy doesn't know where we're from. And he was from San Diego. So to the San Diego people, 85 is hot. To us desert people, let me see. It's 83 inside right here, right now. And I'm pretty okay. I'm strongly okay. As long as I get a little bit of air blowing over me, promote a little evaporative body cooling, we're absolutely fine. We have attuned to the desert. I think the brushless blue case is perfect for rear steer, slow, but all the torque. Yeah. Oh, Miata Commuter throwing them out. 5. Adding to the sawtooth. Miata Commuter and Mr. Shaker MT contribute to almost all of the sawtooth action. They give them out. They run for 28 days. They fall off. And the sawtooth, the life of the sawtooth continues. But they are the public that is supporting this little tiny PBS, because most of my money comes from channel memberships. Only 109 in Peoria right now. And you're human now. Is that 109 real deal relevant Holyfield, or is that heat index 109? Either way, gross. I will gladly take our 109 over your 109. The wife asked me again recently about outdoor Wi-Fi. So I took that as a, maybe not direct, but I took that as an indirect order to figure out how to do Wi-Fi in the yard. So we may, at some point, get to see a stream take place outside. Not this time of year, but at some point. Wonder if Injoro Reds will break down softer like the blues. Yeah, they will break down. Like, yeah, all of the silicone inserts will get softer. It's just the reds are so firm. I can't imagine them breaking down to the level of a blue. I guess people are taking, they're making tuning rods. They're using like earplugs, sticking earplugs into the voids in the blues to firm them up. I don't have anything heavy enough to warrant firming up inserts. If anything, I'm usually cutting ribs out to make them softer. But earplugs are cheap. You can get a thing of 500 of them on Amazon for next to nothing. Hook a wireless repeater to a lizard. He would just run away. 17%. Oh. So Peoria is... Well, I assumed Peoria, Illinois. That's where Peoria is, right? Isn't there a farm baseball club for the Chicago Cubs in Peoria? I would have assumed that, you know, with relative proximity to one of the Great Lakes, that you guys would get the Iowa-style humidity. 103 in Utah at 8%. Curtis Knudsen just got a commercial. It doles them out randomly. Not everyone sees the ads, and I wish that there was a way to screen share screen one. I don't have it set up to screen share screen one. So I can't show you. It's like, okay, if you look at one line of the chat, that's how big it is, but there's a little box next to it that says cancel. And it's not yellow or anything. It's just a little box that says cancel. So I have to be looking at the right part of the screen at the right time to see it, and then I can cancel the ad. But this is how their future works now. They figured out a way to do it. 92 with 49% humidity. I'm heading to the roof to do some duct inspections. No. Stay indoors. Come back inside. I just watched a full Temu ad for you. Oh, speaking of, I got in an email, I got an invitation to be a affiliate, like a sponsored partner for Temu, to which I said aloud, primarily to myself as no one else was around, yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to order anything from Temu If you have and you have been successful and all of your financial information is still yours, then great. But it is not a thing that I really have interest in doing. When I hit 1,000, like in the week that I hit 1,000, I got a thing from like NordVPN or Surfshark or one of those. And my wife was like, you should do it. Like, you're here to expand, right? And I was like, yeah, but nobody watches those things. Those things just irritate people. Like, the only people that are doing it right are the people that are tricking you into watching it, where they basically make it part of the content. And I'm like, guess what? Then I work for them. I'm an advertiser now. And I don't wanna. So you follow the teachings of the Archangel Marie and you do what sparks joy. And the idea of doing a Temu ad does not spark joy. I cannot get this thing in here. This is a cheap set of knuckles. I purchased the cheapest set I could. Hey, got it. Wish I could stay in the AC, but I'm at work and I have my marching orders. There are 3 gentlemen working on the water main to the house next door. In the blazing afternoon heat. So more power to them. More power to them indeed. Hit the like, guys. It's free. Oh, yeah, I almost missed Andre dropping 5 more. One of the Gartar channels I watched made a video entitled Temu paid me $900 to make this. The comments were insane. The video was hilariously unhinged. Now, see, that I could get behind. I thought Wish was bad, and then Temu came along. Yeah, right? You need to give that thing a hawk and get that thing right. I will never order from Temu. Don't trust AliExpress, Amazon, and my local store it is. It took me a while to get to AliExpress, to get to where I'd be like, yeah, I can try AliExpress, because I can go through PayPal, which gives me at least some feeling of security. I don't know if there's any actual security there, but I feel like my information isn't just going to get stolen wholesale. I wouldn't mind if you got a few extra bucks from it. I should email them back. Oh my goodness. About one a week. I get about one a week. I get some sort of like, usually it's not sponsorship deals. It's usually affiliate offers. So they come through. Avant Link is the one that is like a big handler of affiliate stuff. So they're like a one-stop shop for vendors, right? To find people to be affiliates for. I have 3 active accounts with Avant Link. A-Main, Horizon, and Tower. Because I feel like that's applicable to what I do. I get these offers all the time. And they are all this same, variations on a theme, but it's this same script of like, we really enjoy your content, and we think that our products would be a great fit. And I look it up, and it's like GPS systems for motorcycles. And I'm like, what? Do they just have an AI sending these out? Like, how am I a fit for that? Should I go pins or chunky lugs? Unless you're going... Okay, if you're going rock crawling, pins. If there's going to be mud involved, not pins. Like this particular gentleman right here, while being mostly weather sealed, he's running a Fusion SE, and he's even got a receiver box with the seals in it. His job is pretty much rock crawling. He's going to spend his days rock crawling. So he's going to run pins. I don't really care what they would do on a wet day. We don't get a lot of wet days. My wife Temu's everything. My wife is Sheen, the clothing one. Which is, I imagine, all slave labor clothes, because how else do you buy a whole dress for like $7? Yeah, it took me a while for AliExpress. I've always gotten the stuff I ordered, so I trust it now. How they still get you, Nick, is that you'll get one in like 10 days, and then you're waiting 5 weeks, and you're like, they robbed me. And then you hear a thump, and it's either Piggy Ship or one of those last mile guys hurling a package like a paper boy over your front fence at your house. And then, yeah, I've never not gotten anything from AliExpress, but I've had things where I've ordered from 2 or 3 different sellers on AliExpress on the same day, and the amount of time, the time differential is crazy. A week, 5 weeks, 2 weeks, you have no idea how long it's going to take. That's why I'm more likely to just spend the extra money and just order off of Amazon or directly from a manufacturer. Like I bought these from Injora like 5 weeks ago. Supposed to clean up my shop, and all I end up doing is moving stuff around. Yeah. Same vibes, same. I love your videos. Thank you for all the tire tests. Who doesn't love a tire test? I love a tire test more than maybe anything. Speaking of info, Gamers Next has just posted a video. Zotac was letting customers' data get uploaded for RMA onto the internet, and people could Google search with the oh, wonderful. Yeah. Direct. That is just a direct. That's not even a data breach. They're just letting it go. Not a ton of mud in Phoenix. Yeah, if you're in Phoenix, pin it. I wouldn't mind a Surfshark ad, especially if it pays you well. I'm happy to watch ads for channels like... the way ones like Surfshark, Nord, all of those, what they do is the creator, let's call the people that make this stuff creators. And nobody told... I didn't sign an NDA. I can talk about whatever I want. When someone signs up, they get a flat fee. That's how that works. So they do those ads, those sponsorship ads, those paid ads, but they don't see a penny unless people are signing up. So those Surfshark things are really valuable, I'm assuming, for people that have like 1 million subs, 2 million subs. Because if 100 people sign up, they're going to make a chunk of money. But I don't know. I don't like Jay Foreman does a fantastic ad insert, but I don't wanna. It's Quinn again. My dad was wondering if there's a body you want him to paint for you. Well, we already know that when he paints bodies, they're going to be painted better than anything I can do, have done, or would do. So he is free to paint whatever he wants. Let's issue a challenge then. If he has one of these laying around, if he's got the bottom half of a hot dog bun, if there's a guy who can make this atrocity look good, it would probably be him. I don't want to shoehorn him into it, but if he could make a 10 Pro body look good, he'll have done something truly alchemical, worthy of the wizards of times gone by, because that thing is gross. Like, it looks okay outdoors. I don't like to look at it. But if he wants to paint a 10 Pro, he's welcome to. Any cab would work. Any tucked body would work. Anything would work. I've got a Corvair here. If he wants me to ship a Corvair, the Lakewood from J Concepts, if he wants me to ship it out there and he'll paint it, then it will stop hanging on that hook and it'll go on a body. Maybe we can put a Lakewood on this. Oh, who knows? Jamie Parker's heading on into a roof. We wish him the best. Pins are a must run on Clay Oval. Yeah. Pins on these are like cheating. This is cheating. This is cheating. It's going to make anything that's sort of good really good. And if something is pretty good, it's going to make it really, really good. I went through all this labor today because I just ordered him, because he was formerly on the S4 pins, and the S4 pins are great. These are good enough that I wouldn't run out and replace them for these. And if I was running anywhere, most anywhere, I would take the S5 over the S4. If you're buying them today, they're like, I think they're $1 difference in the set. I would take the X5s. Even having to order them, these haven't shown up on. I ordered mine on Amazon from Injora Direct, so they took weeks to get here. You can probably get a set of these tomorrow. But if you don't need them urgently, I would say get the S5s over the S4s. Most stuff from AliExpress I've gotten within 12 days. Shortest for me was 6 days from China to the Netherlands. Ordering directly from Mies, I got something in 4 days. And was like, what? I thought a mistake had been made. I would say the average for AliExpress is probably 10 days. That would be the average. Because there's been some that have been quicker, but there are still those 24 days, 26 days. It all depends on what it is. Oh, Jay-Z 2 cents. I've been a regular for several months. I just reset my account for my personal name. Oh, got it. Get an Amazon affiliate link if you can. For what? What did we talk about? Pins. Yeah. If you need one for the pins, let me know. Done and done. 10 Pro body needs like old school flames or something to hide the hideous lines. That's the thing. Oh, Gozer is uglier than a 10 Pro? Whoa. Easy now. The Gozer is an acquired taste. Look at the back of this. That's just ugly. Like, there's nothing. There isn't even dents to fake headlights. By the way, it comes pre-trimmed. When you take it out of the bag, this is what it looks like. There's, like, it's got a chop top. It's also comp illegal, which is, I think, the funniest, is the funniest part. Even West Desert Wheeler's 10 Pro body looks awful. I think I'm going to go with the J-Concept Stage Killer. The Stage Killer is the more you cut it, the better it looks. It's like the opposite of Cliffhangers and Coyotes and all the tucks where they just keep cutting them and cutting them and cutting them and they just keep looking worse and worse and worse because they look less and less and less like a truck. Like, I didn't cut anything on the Rock 1 from Biddy Design except the cutout to clear the shock towers because, it's supposed to be on a Phoenix. And I like the way it looks because it looks like a truck. This thing looks like the bottom half of a hot dog bun. Like, look at the profile. Well, it kind of looks like a sad hound dog because you can see the sides of the body hanging down. How about a VW Bug on the 10 Pro? It could, but the proportions of the Proline Bug are so weird to try to stretch it out to the 313 wheelbase. I still have a Bug for Shaker MT's VRD that I need to repaint for the second time because it's just not coming out the way I like it. I don't know how I'm going to paint that body to make it acceptable. Oh. Now we have a green. I just got a J-Concepts Warlord. Oh, the full Warlord? I only have the cab Warlord. I have a Bug for my VRD. The Gozer is uglier. I don't know. The Gozer is... I get that the Gozer is polarizing, I could see. You could either love it or hate it. I wasn't convinced by the pictures on the internet. I was like, oh, I don't like that. And then I was like, yeah, I'm going to get one because I want to try a different body on yellow, something that has more clearance. And I really liked it. And they make a $125 printed roof rack for the Gozer. I would just print one. The Gozer is ugly, but in actually running it, the cab shape is my favorite for self-right. They don't hold up worth a darn. Mine's been doing all right, but yellow is very light. It looks like an El Camino. Oh, yeah, most stuff I buy on AliExpress are things with those 12-day delivery or get a discount for your next order things. Do you know how many of those coupons I've gotten? Like the $1 off your next order? So many. So many. Like 10. And then I never remember to use them. Yeah, get that. Yeah, the Bug for patina. That's how I was doing the Bug. It's painted on the outside, which is going to make repainting it easier. or at least to help facilitate the repainting. This guy, I was getting his wheels put together because I will be filming an update on that tomorrow. By the time I got around to it today, finishing off the rest of the stuff on him, we'll do the spoiler for part of that episode. I replaced all these bits for the grand total of about $75, maybe $80. I don't want to spoilers for this guy's next episode, but it is much cheaper to put parts into this than it is to put parts into a VRD. Like there's a definite advantage here. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm building a gladiator. That's the best way. That's the best way to do it. I seldom know what I'm doing. The only thing I know for sure is that I'm doing it. It doesn't really add anything to the experience if you know what you're doing. If anything, I would say that detracts from the overall experience. We just want to go into it and make things. Any updates on the UTB 18 build? I can actually grab it. I finally got myself to drill the holes in the body. So I would say this is the most notable update so far, is that I can do this. Drilled the holes for the body, and the gentleman who sent it in had ordered a Holmes Crawlmaster 3 for it, and then the Deluxe Stumpy, and I tried 3 different radios and couldn't get that Crawlmaster to work. Period. Could not get it to work. So he sent in inside the body right here. It's kind of like the body fits, like you want to talk about fitment. Like, look at that. Look at that. The fitment is so nice that it's actually kind of hard to get the body on and off. It is almost ready for a run. Like, it's going to get the Ghost Ride equivalent, a soft Ghost Ride. We're going to see how much ABS, because realistically, this body is pretty much good to like a 385 or a 393. Like, this is a 4. Are these? These are the 393s. And like, look at the, like, it's gonna bind really bad. It's gonna bind really bad. I don't want to cut too much off of it. I want to kind of keep its little bugness. I really want to get it out and drive it, but the electronics need to be mounted. There's cleanup underneath, and then it'll be runnable. But the thankfully now in my rear view, Anime Expo was costly on time and energy. Fusion Pro only lets you do 7.4 for BEC. Gonna try to find a servo and axle for Red Cat Gen 8 V2. Oh, okay. If it's on a Gen, yeah. If you're on a Gen 8, yeah. It's not going to be strong enough to fight that front end geometry. The Gen 8 is like less worse than a lot of the Red Cat geometries, but that servo's still having to fight a lot. I know 1/10 makes a servo on axle mount for it, if they're ever in stock. 1/10 Boco, they make the best ones so far, I think. I don't know if anybody else does. Like I say, I don't Red Cat much, so replace the rails for carbon on the Pro. Yeah, because $20.99 for a pair of carbon rails from Amazon. So, I saw it this time. Ads were on shortly for some viewers. Skip ads. You're welcome. You're welcome. I really like mine front truck. How's that look with the 2.2 buggy tires? Oh, the 2.2 buggy tires. These? Is that these? I don't know. Let's find out. Let's find out. Look, we're set. We're set like a jet. Oh, that's the little one. Bug would look good with Rovers. Kind of probably would, wouldn't it? I forgot that it uses 5.5 wheel nuts. Oh, I know that. I know that guy. The What Up Doc guy. I know that guy. My wife wants to know who is the blonde doll purple dress on the shelf in front of Aquaman. Right there? It's Elsa. It's you. It's Elsa. You know, like I say, pardonnez-moi français, as I often say, oh, they're very small. as I often say, you've got to Elsa that shit. When something seems like it's really wearing you down, I say you got to Elsa that shit, which is let it go, let it go. So yeah, Elsa. That's very small. Would have no binding issues, but yeah, that's really small. Yeah, 393's never looked so big. Yeah, Lee Jordan got it. Good old Elsa. Good old Elsa. There will be. I haven't gotten myself to do it yet because I'm still groggy from convention attendance. But I'm gonna buy that Spike Spiegel. I don't know where I'm gonna put him. I might move this Luffy and put a Spike Spiegel right here. I've definitely watched more Cowboy Bebop. I think I've watched the whole series of Cowboy Bebop in its entirety twice. The other sock. That bug would look good with Rovers. You know what? I shouldn't have put that wheel back on. Let's find out. I'm gonna have to change tools here. Good direct power flash hobby. Yeah, I mean a direct power. I'm trying to get. Yeah. To the gentleman whose name I've already forgotten. Thomas, to Mr. Williams. Honestly, switching to like a 60 kg direct power might be cheaper than going through all the work of getting servo and axle and doing all that. Because a 60 kg, if a 60 kg won't turn it, then you've got the problems are more severe. Oh yeah. Oh, that's nice, right? Now, how are both of these tires described as 393s? Nope. I just want to see one side's worth. I had these for so long and was trying to figure, because they're so small, I was trying to figure out, what am I going to put these on? And then one day, I said, yeah, man, of course they go on a Jimny. Oh, man. These are still available. I'm pretty sure you can still get the 393 Rover, right? Like why are, okay, so we'll do a comparison here. Okay, so that looks pretty good, right? That looks good. I don't know though. I don't know. What I was gonna say, what does everybody think? Perfection, pure perfection. He swapped out a bobblehead, now is a sports player. Oh, he's just out of... He's right here. Yeah, I got it. I have bought myself, I have purchased for myself in my life one Funko Pop. That one right there. I watch the New Heights podcast fairly regularly with the Kelsey brothers, and I mean, I think the thing is they're not personalities; they're just guys. It's fun to watch and listen to. And when they said that they were going to do that limited edition figure, I was like, I got to get one. And I pre-ordered it for like $25, and people are selling those things on eBay for like $100. And I'm like, that's the world we live in now? Sell out the pre-orders so that you can try to make a couple bucks for it on eBay? No. I also looked for a Spike Spiegel pop, and those apparently go for about $150. And I was like, the world has gone mad. Yeah, that size is perfect. It really is. So if you're out there, if you're building a UTB, even if you're just running your UTB 18 as a kit, I think you could get away with these. The good old Rover. So the Rover are coming back around. I know a lot of people have been looking at these guys. Class 1 pins. Ooh, well, we're here, aren't we? Ooh, okay. A 419 looks real big. Although, I don't know. Maybe they don't look that big. Why did the 393 like, you can see that is smaller. But that, is it the wheel that's making it look smaller? It looks too big. It looks too big. These are right in the sweet spot. Is it the width? I don't know. That's what Vanquish fans do. Oh, that's not nice. I've never in my life, and I hope that this continues for the rest of it, I've never in my life bought something thinking, oh man, I'm going to hold on to this for X number of years and then sell it and make some money. For those who watch all the live streams, you might remember back, oh man, it was a number of live streams ago. I have a box of Robotech stuff. That box is still sitting over there. I don't know. I don't know if it's that I can't be bothered. I don't know if it's that I'm too comfortable in the amount of money that I bring in off of YouTube videos. As long as the YouTube videos pay for the production of the YouTube videos, then, like, it's fine. It's fine. Because resources, expenses will always grow to consume all available resources. So in a month where I make more money, I'm just going to spend more money. And not always wisely. UTB 18 or UTB 18 V2. I don't even know what did they change specifically? This Mr. Vegas Steve, this is a Tamiya Sand Scorcher. The wheelbase is pretty short, like 10-ish inches or so. I don't remember if the Spare Time Hobbies conversion lengthens it. Yeah, 10-inch. So 253, 255, something like that. It's a great body if you're building something that's small enough to accommodate it. And the Sand Scorcher body is one that constantly fills me with an unquenchable rage, a fire that will not go out, because the Sand Scorcher body comes with a driver figure, all the windows, the headlights, 2 full decal sets. It has a detailed, like, it's got everything. It's got the little tail lights go on. It's got the little pieces that go on. It's $40. It's $40. And we buy a piece of injection where they pull a piece of Lexan, and a piece of Lexan will be $60. It is shameful for those who peddle them are shameless. I can't buy toys and keep them in a box unused. It just seems cruel to me. Yeah. Wasn't it a battery change and a new plug in the ESC for the V2? Oh, so they made no, as long as they didn't make any unnecessary structural changes to the UTB-18, because the UTB-18 is great. It works absolutely fine on the included electronics, and that is what this is based off of. And I will say that if you are in the market for a UTB-18, either buy 2 of them or do nothing or do everything. This is that option 2. This is the do everything. But out of the box, it is probably, I'm trying to think of a competitor. FCX10 maybe? It is the best RTR on the market. It is one of the only RTRs that I would ever recommend because they were on sale for what? $149? That 2-in-1 unit, and here's where we really see the problem. That 2-in-1 unit that Horizon forces at us works great in a vehicle that weighs 1 pound. But then they put the same thing in full-on crawlers, and it works like crap. The UTB-18 has drag brake. It has reasonable low-speed control. The steering servo, that Spectrum, actually manages to make the thing turn. Because, you know, it weighs about as much, it weighs less than this drill. And then they take the same electronics and they put it in something that is 4 times the size and weight. And oh, lo and behold, imagine my shock and awe that it doesn't work. So that's not our fault, that's their fault. I'm just drinking some water. Yesterday, dehydration is full force spilling over into today. Yeah, that body, the Sand Scorcher body, I don't know if any other body is as successful as making a tiny tire look huge. Because they really, like, even 393s, those 393 tusks look overly large on that vehicle. And it is not anything approximating me embracing small scales. Hey, Henry. Vegas Steve. I got it on sale and it's good to but I did start onto Route 2 as well. That's why I asked about that body. I'm loving that look. Yeah, Spare Time Hobbies. Check out Spare Time Hobbies. They make a full conversion. They call it the V1B Bugger that is designed to fit that body. And it is very well thought out. So the 1-hour wee jobby to put Yoda 2 axles under my high laugh turned into an 8-hour mission. Mr. Cross, that is called it turned into a thing. We have long, me and a buddy of mine have had that phrase for decades about it turned into a thing, where I will text him and be like, so what happened on that job? And his response will be, it turned into a thing. Which means that, yeah, the 2-hour job turns into an 8-hour mission. I've definitely been there. I more often than not, I go into something sort of ready for the operation, but then there's the knot, and just trying to change a gear or move something from one thing to the next. The next thing you know, it's like 6 hours later, and you're left with this feeling that nothing has been accomplished. There's very nearly the same amount of people. Is this wheel familiar to anyone? Has anyone seen this wheel before? Has anyone seen this? These showed up yesterday, and I don't know what they are. Also, if Miata Commuter is still there, lost somewhere, they will know what this means. They will know what this means. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. That was one of the things that I had to order wheels for. You know what? I haven't even tried to mount one up. We'll grab a fresh set. So I took the 3 sets. I ordered 3 sets of the cheapest 105s that I could. and I took the black ones and the silver ones and I harlequined them. So I just moved the pieces around, black on silver, silver on black. I was a lot happier with this look. These were all black and these were all silver, so we just shuffled pieces around. I like the look better. We'll go with these. We'll go with these for this attempt. And then the other set was an orange set, and I had a set of unused silver beadlock rings. You know what? I don't hate it. I think with the right paint job, these might actually be okay. But this is another of the test set of wheels. I sat down here, I turned on the radio, I turned off my brain, and I put screws in for probably the better part of 2 hours while waiting for the 3D printer to spit parts out. The 3D printing festival has definitely come to an end for a little while because I can't get anything to stick to the bed anymore all of a sudden. Every print I try to do comes off the bed and the supports fall over. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I've recalibrated, I reset the Z-axis, I did everything. Same filament, same everything. I probably had 12 prints in a row fail. And I just gave up. And I don't want to quit because I bought the damn thing. And I know he's not here. He's in Italy. But those who know will know. As well. Here's an unboxing you didn't know was going to happen. There was a box waiting on my porch when I returned from the convention center yesterday. I have some 3D printing that I need to do. Clean the bed. Did. Use glue. Tried it. Went through like half a glue stick. Coated the whole bit. Everything just came off. Now, the gentleman from Norway, who is I think in Spain right now, said that any drafts are bad when those first layers are starting to adhere. And it's been so hot in here that the swamp cooler was running the whole time it was going. That might be responsible. So I want to try it when there's no fans and no coolers running. I thought it was that I had my Z spacing or my Z offset. And I thought I had my Z offset wrong. But it was just every time I would try it, it would separate. So I ended up finishing. We got the helmet done. There's a picture of it on Instagram. The helmet's right over here. I got it done, and I had to make part of it out of MDF because it just kept failing and failing and failing. Yes, I cleaned the bed with alcohol. I've got denatured 100%. That is just ethanol. So I cleaned it with ethanol. I didn't think ethanol would have any negative effects. So yes, Mr. Rosu got it correctly when he said Belgian specialties. So maybe an OD3. I don't know. But Erwin sent me the files for all the 3D bits that need to go in the middle of the centerpiece and all that. So I want to print those. I've got ABS. I've got a bunch of different rolls of filament. And give me another week, and maybe I'll think that I'll be mentally ready to try 3D printing again. Maybe it's too humid to dry filament. This printer, the X-Max 3, the filament lives in a little dryer box with a giant pouch of desiccant in it. And then the filament itself runs in a tube. So I feel like it can't be that. I don't know enough about 3D printing. I haven't failed a print in months. I just clean with Windex. I had 20 failed prints, I would say, in a week. I finally threw them all away because looking at them was making me ferociously angry. But I have had, and I'm certain of this, I have had more failed prints than I have had successful ones. There were 10 pieces total to make the helmet, and I failed probably an entire spool of filaments worth before I finally get it done. My time with 3D printing is not fun. Not fun. I am approaching a junction of I hate this. I haven't gotten there yet, but I genuinely do. I genuinely worry that if it continues at this pace, I am going to hate it. Because, as I had said, I think I posted on the Discord something to the effect of, hey, let's try 3D printing. AKA, let's wait 9 hours to see if this works or not. And the detaching from the bed. Like, I had one detach from the bed about 10 hours in, and I paused it, hot glued the support structure back down to the bed, and then resumed the print. And I think that's the only thing that saved it. You might want to lower the Z offset. Tried that. Is the nozzle dirty? Remove the nozzle, completely cleaned it. Does your fierce layer have gaps in the surface between lines? I don't know how to answer that question. Hate it when my nozzle is dirty. It is the worst. Let me see. So help me, all things holy, if this stupid tire mounts on this wheel on the first try, I'm going to be furious. I just saw a, Paul Drulick says, try adding degrees Celsius to the print. PETG should be 240 to 250. The whole helmet was printed out of PLA Plus, and I was printing at 210, and it went flawlessly for the first 8 out of 10 parts, and then everything went to proverbial shit. There was no actual shit involved. I almost said literal. I don't want to be one of those people that uses literal when they mean figurative. Try and use brim when printing. Did. Printed with brim. My source of knowledge for 3D printing, because I'm not good at it, and add to that, I don't like it, is Google. I just Google it. Like, I will literally Google what is happening at that moment. And then I will try what the results on Google, whether from Reddit or whatever, will say. And I also took it upon myself to not fall into the pit of insanity, which is ever welcoming to people like myself, which is if a print failed, I would go in and like if I was printing it, say I'm printing this piece, and here's the bed, right? So I'm printing it this way, and it failed, I would flip it and print it this way. And if that didn't work, I would have it do the supports, and I would print it this way. And it would fail this way, it would fail this way, and it would fail this way. Part number 9 of 10 failed probably a dozen times. And another printer is not an option. I needed a bed that was 330 by 330 because I was printing, well, I don't think I've ever actually shown it assembled because it's only been assembled for about 24 hours. So, to all you 3D print guys, maybe this doesn't mean anything to you, but aside from printing like some little 3D printed propane tanks, I printed some of Irwin's, these are boxes for the V80, had absolutely no problem. So this is what I chose to print, not knowing how to 3D print things. So the kid wore this all day. God bless him. This is what you see out of. So they spend an entire day basically looking out of a shower drain. And I caught it this time. Skip ads. Okay. You can see it in this light. You can see it perfectly. Do you see this highlight right here? You see that? That's because we had to go on July 4th. I was finishing this on July 3rd. This highlight right here. This half, this is how you put it on. So we glued some tire foams in there, and that held the back of their head. And then these are tire foams cut and Velcroed into the front. That's how their face goes. This is what they got to see. So that's what they got to see while they walked around the LA Convention Center. So this was being printed this way. So there's a seam here. The lighting here is perfect to show off all the imperfections. So it was printed in a half and a half. This half failed on the bed right there, 11 millimeters from the top. And then I tried to reprint this piece probably a dozen times, and it would just fail and fail and fail and fail. So I think you can kind of see from the inside, what do I have to point with? Right here, from here to here is MDF. I cut a piece of MDF, and I super glued it with thick glue in like that, and then I shaped it to fit, and then I glued it all together. So when the light's not hitting it real hard, I don't think you can tell. You can't tell from any of the images. But it printed SpongeBob's house. It printed this. This was all one piece, and it was printed just like this with the points aiming up. The kid dropped the helmet at one point, and all it did was break that little tip off. So I think it's 4-wall all the way around. It printed this whole piece in one shot. This was all one piece. It took 28 hours to print this part. And the most amazing part is that the only thing that holds the two halves together are these two little pins. Like, I didn't have enough time to prime it and paint it correctly, so we've worn through the surface coat. This is, of course, Joanna Gaines' Magnolia Home paint. This is the same can of paint that painted Toothless. So this is Toothless, and then I painted the teeth by hand. And the kid wore it all day, like an absolute soldier. And this is not light. It's not light by any means, but I didn't have any way of, like, I would assume that if you're sane, when you get into something like this, which is learning a new language, particularly for me, you start with something a little more modest. No. These two guys, this is a separate piece. I printed these on the Ender. The Ender shot these things out in like 40 minutes. Flawless. Printed one, printed the other. Now, it prints them quick and dirty because I didn't do the sanding, and there's a lot of layer lines. Look at this thing. So I don't think it's the printer. My hope is, because there is a small part of me that retains optimism. And that small optimistic part of me, the air, like, there is airflow in here. I don't have any tinsel, but like every once in a while I call it a rabbit's butt. I have the big sock that goes over the end of the microphone. Every once in a while you can see the little fibers going like this, because it is windy in here. So I'm just hoping that it is 63% relative humidity in here. So here's what I'm hoping, and it's probably wrong, but here's hoping. Again, a little bit of optimism, still alive, don't kill it yet, is that the filament is coming out dry into a dry chamber that just has humid air being blown on it, which is, I'm assuming, not optimal for 3D printing. Because I tried to print a couple pieces on the little Ender, and they failed as well. So I have two printers. The only thing they share in common is that they're in the same building, and they were failing prints. So, swamp cooler, but if I turn that swamp cooler off, it's going to be 100 degrees in here, which the 3D printers might actually like. They like it hot and dry, right? If they like it hot and dry, that I can provide. I am definitely not going to get this tire mounted on the first try. But I'm really pleased with that 3D printer, the X-Max. It did phenomenally. Right quite literally up until it didn't. And the failures, it's all the same failure. It's not bonding to the bed. So the failures that came late, this piece was printed on the Ender, and it was one of the first pieces I printed. And what happened is it got up so tall that I think that the what do they call them? What did Mr. Norway call it? Bed slingers. The Ender is a bed slinger, so the bed is like pew, 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 pew. I don't know anything about setting speed or anything like that. I think when it was printing this part, it was going too fast, and it either pulled it over, knocked it over, because it finished the print, but the top 11 millimeters of it were just spaghetti all along the back, and this had completely fallen off and there was nothing on the bed. But I fixed it because it failed at the end and not at the beginning. This piece printed flawlessly. This piece printed flawlessly. These went first try. Both of these went first try. Everything that went, and it was this piece. This was the one that I kept trying to reprint, and I made a deal with myself where I said, I'm going to put it on there, and if it fails again, I'm getting the MDF and I'm just going to make it. And it failed again. But the best part is it was failing at a point of adhesion, and I was just telling myself, the best thing I can do is do what I know. And it was failing like 5 minutes in. One of them failed at 14 minutes. Like, that was the longest it went before it would fall off the thing. So, I mean, I tried all the logical things and couldn't get it to work. My bed slinger printer, anything I print up tall, I keep my speed below 50. Yeah, and it was, like I say, I don't know what I was doing. I still don't know what I'm doing. So, truck guy, the ender kind of defaults to 180. So it was printing so 180, and I was watching it print something smaller, and it was like, oh, do you have a textured plate? If it's a smooth plate, you can try glue stick. It is a textured plate. Yeah. And it's textured on both sides, and I tried it on both sides. If there was a thing I could think of to try it, I was trying it. And I even bothered a Norway guy who is drinking whatever they drink in Spain on a beach. I was like, he messaged me about something, and then I asked him a bunch of 3D printer questions while he's on vacation. He knew what he was getting into, and I still couldn't get it to go. And also, once again, I give them one order, which is nothing last minute. This finished, I got this done right here at about 1 p.m. on July 3rd. So all of the finish work, all of the spot filler, first it was universal bonding primer, then I spot fillered it, and then I went over it in filler primer, spot filled it again, filler primed it again, started to do the paint coats, got finished at about 7 p.m. on July 3rd so they could wear it on July 4th. If that's not the last minute, I don't know what the last minute is. Had I my druthers, which I do not, nor will I ever, I would have made this in like February. But if wishes were speedboats, yeah, for a split second, I thought I had gotten it, but no. Even trying to mount a Boom Racing Hustler inside out, it's still, yep. Would you like to see a Boom Racing Hustler not in a nutshell, but just in reality? Boom Racing Hustler. It doesn't matter if you mounted it right. You can just pull it off the wheel. Because it's the worst tire in the world. Yeah, these are tightened all the way down. This is a brand new wheel. Boom Racing Hustler. Last minute would be 4th of July morning. I finished my son's costume last night. Dead tired at 11 o'clock at night. My eldest. And he had 0 input, so. Yeah, it will take a lot of tinkering, and that's the thing. You know what I need? I need a guy. I need the local 3D print guy that just shows up and go, oh, here's the problem. Just make it do the thing. Yes, you can indeed set the max speed in the slicer. I was tinkering with it a little bit on the big printer, and I have turned the small one down to, I think I had it going at 100. When it had printed these little guys, it was set at 100 instead of the 180. The top speed on the big printer is 600, which apparently you have to use some sort of specialized filaments to print that fast. What are we talking about? 14 pounds. Oh, yeah. That thing has metal inner fenders, though, doesn't it? Like, 14 pounds doesn't surprise. Speaking of 14 pounds, I have no ability to determine what this thing weighs. But I know the kid wore it on their head for a whole day. And I only saw him doing the grab, where they're like holding the chin of it. towards the end of the day, when I imagined the weight of it was starting to feel even heavier, we're going to use a 10 Pro box. I'm really curious because we went through 2 full spools of filament. This back part took almost a full spool by itself. I forgot one of the legs. 3 pounds. That's not bad. That's not bad. Is 6 pounds RTR considered light or heavy for a crawler? I would consider that right in the middle. 6 pounds is about it. Like, I would say if there was a canyon median weight, 6 pounds. Like, okay. This has a battery in it. 7 dead. 7.02. But brass rings, brass knuckle weights. This guy was probably right about 6 pounds, even with this body on it. This feels heavier to me. 7-11. These boys have gotten fat. That's that VS410 chassis, though. And then the 10 Pro, I did just put some knuckle weights on them, but I took a bunch of weight off too. Come on. Yeah, 6 pounds. 515.6. Yeah, 6 pounds is like right about there. Getting, like, to me, this is just me speaking personally, 5 pounds, actually, I would say under 5.5. 5 pounds 8 is light. Anything below that, if you're under 5 pounds, you're like ultra light by my estimations. I mean, and you're not a UTB 18. UTB 18's like a pound and something. I just finally started looking for a companion truck to the Axial Capra. Still no idea. Maybe H10 Optic, maybe 19 Wraith, super custom job owners. I mean, you already have something in a cage. I would get something without a cage. Yeah, everything that I just scaled right now had a battery in it. Is effectively RTR. Now, if we're talking a slider, then you can get that down into the 3 to 4 pound range, because it's not uncommon around these parts to have the full kilo of wheelos, and that's 2.2 pounds of wheels and tires. So yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if full RTR weight is even important. It's how does it drive? How does it drive? 10 Pro's light and drives heavy. VRD is heavy and drives light. Have you discussed the Vanquish Builder's Kit and straight VRD? I have questions. Have they released more pictures? Like, do we know? I don't keep up. I'm not gonna fake it. I don't keep up with it. Does the what is the Builder's Kit? What is it? What is the VS410 Builder's Kit? What's in it? Is it a VFD? Is it just the VFD out of the stance? Is it a Vanquish 3 gear? For me, as far as I'm concerned, if it doesn't have a Vanquish 3 gear in it with the option to put a Hertz dig unit on it, then it's not a VS410 Builder's Kit. It's a Fordyce Builder's Kit. So I don't know any of the specs. I just saw someone on the Discord posted a screenshot of the little teaser pic that was on the live stream. That is effectively the extent of my knowledge. I've been making educated guesses as to what Vanquish is going to do. I think it's sintered gears throughout. I don't think any of the new releases are going to have machine gears. If they do, I will find it to be genuinely surprising. I usually like to get RCs in pairs because my wife occasionally joins in. A Capra companion I have not found yet. What would I do? Well, I mean, I would build something, obviously. Now, are you looking for capability on par with the Capra? Are you looking for something that looks a little more scale-oriented, like it's got fenders? And by that, I just mean like a fendered body. I don't mean like I don't mean a full-on everything. Like, are you looking for something as a partner? Yeah, see, that was my guess. Like, it basically in today, operating from today, if Vanquish can find a way to absolutely bungle it, they will. Getting rid of the machine gears means they're basically never going to sell one again. The machine gears, they're $40 a piece, which is the same price Traxxas sells theirs for, which is the same price that Element sells theirs for. So Vanquish is over here busy, trying to turn themselves into a Horizon product, which is not what they were, and we would hope is not what they are, but that's what they are. They're just trying to be expensive axial, and it's tiring, is what it is. Aluminum rails and sintered gears. Okay, truck guy. So the VS410 builder's kit, what are the rails? Because to me, I got one right here. This is a VS410. They sell a VS410 chassis kit. If it's not on these C channels, it's not a VS410. So what are they selling? What are they selling? If it has flat rails, then there's no point. There's genuinely no point. Because there are guys like Zoku, there are guys like Revolt, Irwin. There is the fact that you can buy a carbon version of this on Amazon for $20. I don't care what shows up in my TOF boxes. I enjoy the thrill and mystery. Like I say, if I believed that a higher power intervened in these sorts of events, I would be praying for you so that you don't get two optics. Haven't had that in a while. I don't need air right now. I'm just gonna we'll just put that on pause. I'll remember to turn that off later. It's a VRD with straight axles and cheaper parts. Okay, the VRD kit is on flat. VS410 is C channel. But it's still got a VFD in it. It's basically a spec VFD in it. Hey, my cross got an airbrush. Airbrush, okay. The airbrush is what I would regard as the categorical opposite of a 3D printer. There's so few things that can go wrong. And you basically know what they are. The spray pattern, if it's spraying out and water's spattering or solvent is spattering out to the sides, it's too thin. If it's spraying out chunky, it's too thick. That's pretty much the end of what can go wrong with an airbrush. Now, getting good at using it takes time, just like anything else. But 3D printing, I have no idea what's going wrong at any given time. Any plans on checking the Red Cat Ascent Fusion? God, I hope not. Yeah. Oh God, two optics, new fear unlocked. Nope, I won't even. I don't even want to put it out in the universe. I don't want to put it in the universe. I almost said a thing, but I'm afraid that the universe will hear it. I'm not a painter by any stretch, but I'm determined to learn. An airbrush, honestly, if you can paint with a rattle can, you can use an airbrush. It's just, I mean, more precise but less convenient. You pick up a spray can, you paint. With an airbrush, like the amount of control that it gives you, how fine of lines you can put down. And I'm not good at it, and I've been airbrushing forever. I've been airbrushing as long as I've been doing this stuff. But I'm also taken over by laziness, and I will just grab some rattle cans. Particularly so long as they keep making vinyl paint for me. If I can conserve, don't you curse me. I won't say it. Don't buy a stance, and don't even think about buying the VRD Builder's Kit. If the VRD Builder's Kit is an unassembled stance, dear, sweet, infant baby Jesus in a smoking birch bark canoe, what is the point? What is the point? Here, we've given you the option of building an inferior product all on your own. Good God. Even if it's $279, it's still not worth it. Because lest we forget, there's $700 in parts in a VRD Carbon. Get a VRD Carbon now while you can, before they ever nerf the VRD Carbon and they just turn it into a portaled stance. I can screw up a single color rattle can paint job. That's just about holding the can at the right distance. I'm glad Vanquish gave us more kit options, but I'm also sad that you don't get any upgraded parts in them. They're going the way, they're turning themselves into everyone else. Remember when they were the premium? They're not premium anymore. I still like an F10 axle. F10 Portal is one of my favorite axles. I like an F10 straight. I think we have more F10 straights here than any other axle individually. Last time I counted them, I think they just edged TRX4 axles by 1. But it's coming to the point where there's not really anything that Vanquish is trundling out that I have any desire to buy. End of. I'm going to try and fabricate an SOA. Oh. Straight axle, I think, is the point. Why? Oh. They could have just taken the carbon kit and pulled the portal bags out and put straight bags in and just sold it as a VRD Carbon straight. Going to this straight axle version is a decision made by accountants and not made by engineers or designers or, God, Lord forbid, people who drive rock crawlers. I said it not even tongue-in-cheek when the stance came out. Bottom lines over crawling lines. And they're just turning the knob up to 11. They're spinal tapping bottom lines over crawling lines. Because why should we sell people capability and why should we sell them a premium product when we can make more money? Anyone know what percentage Curry Portal Overdrive set is? The 2028? I just had it written down and I erased it. 16%. Don't quote me on that. I think it's 16%. I think the 2028 is 16%. Which is kind of enough on its own. If you just run it on its own, it's kind of enough. Oh, why? I don't know is what I meant. Why? Yeah. I guess someone, maybe someone asked for a straight axle VRD when all they would have to do is pick up literally any set of straight axles. Ally Express can get you a straight axle VRD on the cheap. But instead, we're going to get a nerfed kit. And, I mean, what a time to be alive while they nerf kits out from under us. Spinal tapping big bottom lines. That's the first time I've heard you go full James Earl Jones. I like to use it on my children! So my wife is tangentially related. My wife is one of 8, and it is 7 of the ladies and 1 gentleman. And a fun thing to do if you have an extended family. I am an only child. Obvs. And if you marry your way into a monstrous family that's full of ladies, a fun thing to do at parties is just pick one at random, go up to them and say, hey, say something in the lowest voice you can. And the lowest voice most of them can muster is slightly higher than my normal speaking voice. They're definitely not getting here, and they're definitely not getting here. And it's hilarious. I laugh myself hoarse. Are we going to see Tomex and Zaymot Hustler comparison? Oh, you mean inside versus outside? Well, we are now. That means we don't have to subject Baseline to this. Now we're getting, now you called it. You sent in the stuff. 1-800, you called it. Tomac Zaymot, inside out hustlers versus right side out hustlers. It is not just a weekly dumb. That is a dumb for the ages. I do agree the skinny tire comp thing is a fad. Fat toy balloons is better. It is. Like, it's the only reason they want skinny tires is so they can fit betwixt gates. I would be willing to wager that the lion's share of us, and I count myself among this, do not pass ourselves between gates. No gentleman holding a stick nor a clipboard has ever been present when I'm driving through one of my gates. So I do it as a sort of an added challenge, make it a little tricky for yourself, you know? Because like I tell people, if you feel like you're getting at that point where your skill set is developing and you're learning how to control the rig and how to position the ends and you're learning what it's going to do and you develop that, which I talk about probably too much, that's completely out of the bead. You're developing that feel, then go get a tennis ball. Find one on the side of the road. Get a big knife. Cut that tennis ball in half. Pick a spot on the rock of your choice. Put a tennis ball over here. Put a tennis ball over there. Try to drive between them. It gets exponentially more difficult. And then when you get good at that, just move one 90 degrees from the other one. Now move them like that. Drive between the tennis balls. It gets really hard. You can make a line that you could walk on any day really, really difficult. To the point where you can't even do it. Like the rig physically can't do it. And there is something almost invigorating about finding that point where you run out of rig. Not where you run out of skill, but when you run out of rig. Because I have had moments with particular builds here where I can tell that it's skill issue. Like, I'm not good enough yet to drive the line I want to drive. That rig could probably do it. Let's be honest about it. I think the rig that I'm probably the best at driving, the rig that I would best exemplify my surplus or lack of skill is Baseline. Because as they say, seat time over everything, or in our nomenclature, wheel time over everything. And I have more wheel time on Baseline than I have on anything else. And a lot of my time is spent doing things like Wheelin' Wednesdays and Crawl Olympics and going from rig to rig to rig to rig to rig. I don't want to sound like I'm horn tooting, but if you have the ability to try it, go out one day with 4 rigs and 4 radios and just hot swap back and forth between them. You want to talk about things that get difficult. You will amplify the small differences in rigs before you even know it. So, is Crawl Olympics fair? Is running Mavericks like that fair? Look, I'm doing it to the best of my ability. But when you drive Jolly Green and then set the controller down and pick up, Lil Fella, the brain, resetting that is tough. Even, this one went what? Jake, then Jolly Green. Ironsides, then Jake, then Jolly Green. I don't know if you could find 3 more different driving experiences in close proximity to one another. So I am enjoying myself now and in the grander scheme of things because I'm still finding that point where I run out of skill. And my hope is to keep that skill going up. Balancing power creep and skill development is what's tough. Because one might say, oh, well, if you just start out on something less capable, then you'll build skill and you won't have to worry about the power creep. I don't think that's true. I think if you're operating a leafer, you're going to develop the skill to operate that leafer, and then you're going to get to the point where that rig runs out of capability. It's not going to do lines that four-wheel steer 2-2 rigs are going to kill, or that sporties are going to take, or that MOAs are going to take. So you got to branch out. So I think that I'm unintentionally learning. I'm taking all the college courses at once, and I'm trying to develop my ability to drive them, to operate them to their fullest potential all at the same time, which is not the fastest way to do it. The fastest way would obviously be pick one rig or style of rig, work on that, develop a skill set, move on, go to the 101 class, then go to the 201 class and move. But no, I'm like here and there and here and there and here and there. And I'm okay with that. I'm going to learn more slowly, but I think I'll be a well-rounded student when we get to the end of it. That's the hopes, at least. Gates are the difference between I made it up and I drove a line. There we go. Revolt chassis arrived. Gates had a whole new experience. I printed some for my rocks and it changed my outlook on how good I was doing in my rigs. Yeah, I think, you know me, man. I don't want to point fingers, but all of the Ascent and the Ascent Fusion guys, I just want to mail them a tennis ball. I was amazed at how capable it was out of the box. What'd you do with it? What'd you do with it? Did you go to your hot crawling spot and did you drive up a thing and you were like, wow, man, come over here and try the easiest 9-gate we've got. Just get on green line and you will find out. Do I have rigs in the fleet that can do it without touching anything and pull a 0? Yeah. Do I have rigs that I'm not good enough to get them through on a 0? Also, yeah. This one popped all the way out. Mavericks is way tougher than it looks on video to get through at a moderate speed. Yeah, my wife was like, she goes, I was out there, Baseline was the guy that did the setup, and I was out there, I had probably, before it was done, I had probably driven Mavericks in its entirety during the build process, probably around 100 times. And she was like, oh, you've made it too easy. And I said, no, I've made it too easy for me. Other people are going to come here and this is going to be some degree of gnarly to them. Because, like I say, in terms of a real competition, it's why I would disqualify myself. I built all the obstacles. All of them. So I find a spot and I go at it. One of the most common questions I get, or the common remarks I get when people visit the canyon for the first time is, oh, okay, Slick Rock is really steep. I did not realize it was that steep. And I'm like, yeah, the video only shows 2 out of the 3 available dimensions. And apparently it does not translate steep. Which is why not everything just walks right up it. So I just heard Sweet Infant Baby Jesus in a birch bark canoe. Yeah. Actually, in a smoking birch bark canoe is the full quote. What's in the bomb? The bomb fits a human head. So there's nothing in the bomb right now. Hi. Oh, hey, Erwin is here. Oh, Erwin. Erwin is supposed to be in Italy. Erwin is supposed to be on vacation. Erwin's chassis right there. What is the 3.93 equivalent to Fusks? Something decent to put on the cheapy UTB 12. I don't know if there is one. If I were building a UTB 12 for myself right now, I would 100% put 393 Rovers on it. I have not checked recently to see what they cost, but something tells me they're not that much. Just going to use the phone for this. 1.9 HB Rovers are $22.99 a pair. I would pay that gladly because they. Look at that. I think we'll sing it again. Hustlers! Who's getting hustled? This guy. Who has 2 thumbs and is getting hustled. They do have a 393 Tusk, but 393 Tusks are expensive. And on a UTB 12, as we call it, as it should be, I would go with the Rover. Because I think they fit the look. That's the trick. You go first at the obstacle, then I know where to go. Oh, 1.0 63 millimeter OD Tusk. Oh, that's pretty small. I'm always fascinated by your crawl Olympics. When you're switching through the different rigs, it must be really difficult. Mavericks isn't as bad as doing like actual rock crawling stuff. Switching between them sometimes is very jarring. Stunon, yeah, HPI. Actually, Hot Bodies, I think, is who actually makes it, because they're marketed and sold by HPI. But when you get them, if you see on the sidewall, they say HB for Hot Bodies. Now, I don't know if HPI owns Hot Bodies. I know Hot Bodies used to make a lot of tires back in the olden days. I don't know what they still make now. But yeah, I see them listed both ways as HB Rovers and HPI Rovers. There isn't like 2 of them. There isn't like a different version. There isn't an HPI edition and a Hot Bodies edition. It's just one tire. Maybe pivots and mallets. The pivots and mallets are 419s, so full class ones. And the Rover at 393 isn't really. It's pretty proper small. I think I might have gotten it this time. Yeah, also, yes, Mr. Parker points out that he needs softer inserts for 393s on his UTB 12. Needs softer inserts. Yeah, it's so light. Like, compared to everything else, like the 393 market is mostly pointed at, the class, quote-unquote, class 0 guys. And they're all running hard bodies, and they heavy. UTB is very light. To the point where, like, unfortunately, class 1 pins I don't think will work because the carcass is so thick. Is Mr. Erwin Adrianson asking me if that is the Revolt chat? Sir, you should know. That's like asking if that kid over on the other side of the room is your kid. Is that my kid? You should know what chassis that is. And once I figure out why my 3D printer hates me, I'll print the parts of it. What's your first thoughts on the chassis? I think it's carbon fiber, and I think I've got to start accumulating parts for it. My initial temptation is to put it on straights, because I kind of want to see it on straights. I want to get that thing down low. You know what? Oh, there it is. There it is. Is it in enough? That might be in enough. So that's a pass. That's a pass. That's all. That's out. That one's passed. All right. This is either the 3rd time or the 4th time we're mounting this one. We'll get there. So an HPI Venture frame with the body on the logo, but it was new. Ooh. Yes. They re-released the Venture, and the new body is gross. Super gross. Do not like it. Luckily, you can still get the HPI Venture Builder's Kit. Yes, the new one. I don't know what that body's supposed to be, but I hate it. It is 10 Pro. It's 10 Pro. Or to those wrong. Everybody has the right to be wrong. To those wrong people in the chat, it's a Gozer. How many times have I mounted this Nope, it's out. It's out. It's out already. Oh, Mr. Spain has purchased some Panther Cougars. So they're still out there, apparently. You can still find NOS Panther Cougars. And apparently, so says the lore, I can't confirm, they made a 1-9. There used to be 1-9 Panther Cougars. And there was another Panther, I want to say Leopards. There was another Panther tire. Neither of the websites work for me. PantherTires.com and Panther-RC.com. Neither of them open properly for me in any browser, which gives me cause for concern. Like sometimes the page will open, but generally that implies some sort of SSL error. Rover looks like a mini rupture. Well, it should. The rupture is definitely heavily inspired by the Rover. They just tried to make it a more palatable size. The two sizes of the HPI Rover are insane. The regular, the 1.9 is a 393, and the 2.2 is 5 inches tall, give or take, but like 65 millimeters wide. It's a beach ball. They look like beach balls. I think I got it. I got it enough. We will see if whichever brother loses the coin toss and has to run them right side out. Loser of that coin toss runs the right side out ones because they are the hottest available garbage. The other brother will get to run the inside out ones. They feel so soft. But there was definitely something lost in translation because they call their compound snail slime, and snail slime is very slippery. It's not sticky at all. So, there you go. Mr. Watanabe owns HPI and Hot Bodies. There you go. Stock foams in the 393 work great on my TF2. It's a heavy boy. Yeah, the stock foams are fairly firm. I saw... I'm high on limoncello. Nice. Nice. That body is a mix of gross and ew. Yes. I need to design a tire and source it out to Injora to make it. All I still say to Injora... just remake Swamp Claws in a better compound and remake King Trekkers in a better compound and the other one. Just do them all in S4. They don't even need to be S5. Just make S4 Swamp Claws and we'd be happy. Have one the HPI is not horrible. No, it's not bad. Got a link to where one can buy that chassis. That chassis? He's here in the chat. Erwin makes them talk to him. And the Proline Chisel was available in 393. Yeah, those are gone. The frame looked good, but the new body, hell no, really ugly. Yeah, I gotta look it up again. Do they call it is it the Wayfinder? Is that what they're calling it now? Yeah. It's so ugly. I hate it so much. Because you can tell that it was an attempt to go outside of license, and like every proportion of it is wrong. Or S4 Clerms, yeah. No, for the Clerms, just go straight to S5. S5 Clerms, man. Whew. So so let me see if I can pull it off the base. This is horrifying to many people. Yeah, okay. So this let's see if we can do this correctly. This is the stand that I use for my bicycle helmet, but because I haven't ridden a bicycle in almost 2 years, I'm using it for the bomb. So this is what I store my bike helmet on. And a buddy of mine is like, "Oh, I don't like that at all." So that's my bike helmet stand. But I'm now using this as the this is a hairdresser's head, and she looks like a psycho from Fallout. So we're all good. So this is what I've been storing the bomb on lately. Will it fit over her without opening? No. Her head is too normal sized. And this is what I had to do to my kid like 20 times during the day. You go like this. Both sides are in. And, nope. There's a definite snap feel when you get it right. Get. There we go. Bomb head. Put that back over where we had it. Just constantly afraid I'm going to knock that thing over. It must be horrifically hot outside because it is now 85, but the humidity has dropped down to 62%. The swamp cooler is so bad. So bad. Depending on how much I hate myself in the future, might have to film this tomorrow. We are. Hustlers and inside out hustlers. How do you see with a bomb head? It's like looking through a shower grate. Spend all day looking through a shower grate. That's what the kid had to do. Anyone try the Proline Aztecs? I saw them. I remember they released that image with the body that says Aztec all over it, and I made fun of them for spelling it like the Pontiac way. When, I mean, they could just put a C on the end of it. I'm Googling it because I honestly don't even remember what they look like. That is a... What would I say that's closest to? A directional pivot? I feel like that pattern. I feel like I've seen that pattern before. I was trying to zoom in to see if it has a this direction arrow on it. I don't think it does. $170, so at least they're not crazy narrow. My first airbrush in 1985 was called an Aztec. Yeah, did it come with the little can of propellant and the little hose and you screwed it down on the top? I think I remember that. I think I remember that airbrush. Like a Trepidor maybe. That's what it is. It's a Trep, isn't it? Or the chevroning is giving a little Baja Claw to me, a little bit. The old HPI is €50 more expensive than the new one. Nice. Horrible name for a tire. Yeah, I had thought that Fossil from Duratrax, Fossil, because when you think about something with performance, Fossil, that's the name, right? No, I thought Fossil was bad, but Aztec is... Oh, did I miss one? Irwin got an ad. It doles them out at random. Deepwoods, good name. Tusk, good name. Even, well, Pro X, that's a real thing. I gotta think of crawler only tires. Baja Claws are real. Flatiron is good. Chisel is good. Swamp Claw is good. Even the Hunk is good. It's not that hard to make a good tire name. You need to try the G-Made 2.2 Bighorn. Where's the Revolt stickers? I almost doxed you. It's right here. I almost threw your address down on the bench. People would send you mail. Someone said 2.2 G-Made Bighorn. I think there's a set of those over here on a peg. Ba-ba! The proof. G-made Bighorn, 2.2. Last I checked, I believe at the time of purchase, yeah, they come with the neck collar foams. They don't even bother to do a full foam. What are we looking at? 135 by 50, 136 by 59. We're looking at about 4 3/4 internal, but wide as all get out. How underfluffed is a... The Super Swamper name is way better than the tire itself. I know you hate it, but Megalithic is a killer name. I mean, it is. It doesn't have anything to do with rock crawlers, but it is a good name. Yeah, a 1.9 insert is way too small for these. I wonder if I can oh yeah, that looks fat. No, these are... It's literally 2 pin seekers. If you made pin seeker duals, they would be the same width as a 2.2 Bighorn. They don't feel overly thick. I know they do have that weird band down the middle that like every G-made tire has. Yeah, the Bighorn is definitely its own thing. They're chalking out a lot. If I can find a decent foam to fit these, I'm currently trying a 2.2. Yep, there we go. Okay, we'll throw this one in the rotation. 2.2 dual stage Canyon Trail foam, right in there. This is really soft, right? Doesn't act like it. Does not act like it. So yeah, if a 2.2 Canyon Trail foam in there, and I have a bunch of these. Yeah. So we'll have to throw this one onto the list. We're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you this. Oh, wait. Could you measure some SE coil springs? Are there SE springs that I didn't do that aren't already on the spring database? I thought I rated them all. Correct. Sometimes. Did you survive all the people? Barely. So we're gonna end up at some point. There's gonna be a thanks to both comments and people like Shaker MT, who I don't know. I can't tell if he is a sadist. I don't know what it is. So we now have the G-made Bighorn. We've got the G-made MT1901. We've got the G-made MT1902. We've got the G-made MT1903. And I have already on the board are the MT1904 and MT1905. So we will have covered very nearly all things G-made. So I'm trying to figure out who is going to test. Like, this should be Lord Pennaby, that one. Lord Pennaby should be testing all of these. It seems abusive. And then I think this tire size range, I think this is Yella. I think Yella's going to test these. I can't remember what I ran these on when I initially bought them. I bought them because they, like I said, they were very, very cheap. Like $25 or $30 for the set. And I don't remember actually giving them, like, they have a little bit of, tiny little bit of feathering on the lug, so they got run a little. But yeah, I got a full set and 4 foams to put in them, so I will absolutely test those. I'll test anything. If it's here, I'll test it. Yeah, Erwin sent me that picture of the failure of that 9 iMod 70 kg, which I guarantee you doesn't make 70 kg, but it makes more than that gear train can handle. And the problem is that all these manufacturers now just keep upping the power. So they keep making the motors more powerful and more powerful, and they're making direct power servos that are 4S capable, and there have been effectively no changes to the gear train. It's still the same gears. It's the same gears. The same gears that years ago a servo making 111 ounces was fitted with. And they're now putting in this. If they're not helical or spiraled or what or hardened, they're gonna blow up. I mean, these things strip aluminum servo horns out so fast. Those G-Manders are so big they look like they belong on a front end loader. Yeah, they are definitely like I mean, even the big chevron on there. And yeah, I mean, when they're standing up. Now, admittedly, this is a full class. That's a 105. So it's a big boy. G-Made, with the possible exception of, I mean, I guess, as the numbers got higher, they got better. But they still, all their tires are kind of weird. This is Trepidory. So this is the Trepidor one. Not 100% sure what that one is. It's a very low lug on that. And then the 1903 is just the Swamper. Everybody's got to make a Swamper. I've never been particularly blown away by anything that's immediately Swamper. Titanium gears on a servo could be a good upgrade in the future. Titanium, as we have long been told, is basically as light as aluminum for basically the strength of steel. But what they mean when they say that is if you make the steel lighter, it's going to be weaker. If the gears are heavier, steel is stronger than titanium, just across the board. So they keep making the gears lighter and lighter and lighter when what they need to be doing is making the gears stronger and stronger and stronger. SenseCam has a helical gear range now, 70 kg direct power. I pulled one apart. It's not all helical gears. So they left a weak link in the chain. So if they're not all helical, I don't want to say that none of them are helical, but the gear he blew out, that Erwin blew out, is in the middle. So every time I have it blow out, it's what I call the hat gear. The gear that has the very thin... Do I have a servo without screws in it? I can. When I have a gear failure, every gear failure I've had inside the gear train of a servo has not been the gears that he had fail. He did something kind of special. Worthy of having cigars and getting drunk. Because, so, this servo's not going to stay together super great because I had to thief a pin out of it. So every time I've had we're going to switch to camera 2 for just like one time in this whole episode. Every time I've had a servo fail, it's been that gear. It's been that gear right there. Because look how thin it is. Look how thin it is. And that's like the output, that's the motors on that side. Erwin blew this one up. I don't know how you blow that one up, but I've always blown that one up. And like, how is that supposed to handle, like, I mean, if it was actually 70 kg, that's well over 1,000 ounces. How is that gear supposed to handle 1,000 ounces? It's not going to. It's going to blow up. Oh no, it wasn't in the Discord. It was in the Insta. So what I need to do is I need to open Opera and I need to go to the... Yeah, if I knew how to link to it, I would just do that, but I don't. If an ad comes up now, it's because I've tabbed out and I've tabbed into something else. Okay. Drag this over here. Put this right up here. Drag that right like that. Okay, now we're going to minimize this. And then if I do this, Yeah, there you go. So he blew that middle one out. Like, I ain't even know, man. Like, you can't. Why would I think you could see my mouse arrow? That little one down at the bottom, that's the one that blows out. But like, them teeth no longer be teething. That thing is done. Yeah. So that was the final output. So something got bound up on the horn, and so I'm guessing the only way to blow that is the motor had enough, the servo had enough torque to hold what it was trying to hold, but the wheels got bound into something. So it was actually the motor overwhelmed that servo and turned those wheels and just blew that middle gear into oblivion. Yeah, that little middle gear could not withstand. Could not withstand the power coming back to the servo horn through the tires via the motor. So that was a collaborative effort. Usually, you break something else before that goes. Usually, you crack your axle housing or you snap a wheel pin. I have to assume that's the factory sauce. I don't imagine he put more sauce in it. But I think we can all agree that all of the sauce has like migrated over to the motor output side. There's pretty much no motor sauce left on the on the output side. It's just dry over there. He done did it good. I get a, those G-Maids, by the way, my hands reek. And it smells like bicycle tires. Just straight up rubber. There are no fancy compounds or additives. Don't talk about axle housings. I haven't broken one in a while, and now that I talked about it, I've probably angered up the spirits. And I'm going to break one soon. I think I have spares for most things here. And the next rig out, the next filming sessions I have to do, I'm not too worried about it. Time for the CV grease. I've been using I've been packing servos full of super lube, the silicone with Teflon in it. And I mean like fill the whole case top and then go and wipe all the excess off the outside. Like those gears are operating inside grease. It doesn't seem to be negative yet. Still haven't broken a TRX4 axle. I haven't either. But TRX4 axles tend to be what goes. It tends to be the portal input gear. That tends to be what people snap. But I would never put a hardened one in either because that gear is really, really easy to swap out. And I just treat it as a unofficial slipper clutch. Like if you blow out that portal input gear, it's fine. You just swap it out and then you don't have to worry about it again. That's not too much grease. Sounds crazy. I don't think there's such a thing as too much grease. Yeah, the axles handled it. I think that the power, I think the wheels were turned in such a way that when it went on power, it turned farther than the servo could turn. And it just took off some teeth. And then once that first tooth goes, then the motor goes, oh, I can turn now, and just goes pop, 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 and then just takes off more teeth down the row. But I'm still looking at that picture, and the amount of smearing on those teeth, it looks like the teeth just smeared over. So, potentially a hardening issue. Like, not as hard as those should have been. It's holding steady about 85 degrees. It is an absolute miserable day out here. Not here. Not here. I mean outside. Just on the other side of my thin metal walls. It is a miserable day out there. I have to figure out what set of 2.2s. Didn't I just, oh yeah. Yeah. I have a brand new set of 2.2s that I have to unmount so I can mount these so that I can run the test on those. That is 100%. That is invariably, that's a future me problem. I'm not worried about that today at all. You should run a servo test, blue case out of the box versus clean and fresh lube. Oh. Oh, so Erwin says they're just refunding. They're not just going to replace it. I thought every company just wanted to go with replacement. The spare parts bag gets bigger for the next time. Yeah. Because no matter what you try to prepare for, like I have an added advantage, is which I just drive right over there. We've got the little first aid station, and I put stuff in it, but invariably there's going to be stuff in, because that's just trying to avoid a walk. But you guys, if you're driving to a location or walking to a location, like, you try to think to yourself, what do I bring? And if you keep loading up the bag, the next thing you know, you're going to have basically a spare rig in the bag with universals and drive shafts and drive pins and wheel hexes and on and on and on until... Oh, RC and more. It's 85 inside the building. With a swamp cooler going full blast, it is 109 degrees outside. I haven't checked, but it should. If the thermometer is to be believed, it is 109 degrees outside. Jay Leeson heading to bed. Jay Leeson, I feel like I need to go to bed, but I know that I won't. What is it? It went around. It made the rounds on the internet a little while back about how it's that thing where you know you're supposed to be asleep, but you've been deprived of doing the things you want, so you fight against your own sleep. So you fight against your own best interests. Oh, brings a new servo. So Jay will sleep well tonight. I will sleep well tonight, provided the house isn't too hot on the inside. Yeah. Oh, my bad. Yeah, 85 in the building. I would never complain about 85. And honestly, the 85 in the building wouldn't be bad at all if it wasn't brought about by a swamp cooler. So it is 85. Oh, it just hit 86. So figure out. Oh wait, let me do heat index. There should be a heat index calculator. Look at me, I'm on my phone. I'm supposed to be live streaming, but I'm on my phone. Heat index. Okay. Heat index calculator. It is currently 92 degrees in here because it is 86 degrees and 62% relative humidity in here because it is brought about by a swamp cooler. So it says 60 is 91 and 65 is 93. But I'm not in the sun, so it's fine. Now outside, it's 109. Humidity is single digits, I guarantee it. So the heat index would be like low. Like the relative humidity on the heat index chart only goes down. Oh wait, here's another one. There was one that only went down to 40. I think this one goes down to 0. But it won't load crispy. Oh, there it goes. This one goes down. Oh, that's in Fahrenheit. Ugh. No, they only all go down to 40. You can even kill a tire with a link. Yeah, I did. Ever have driveline noise you just can't find? No negative effects on the truck, just noise. Oh, wah, 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 wah. My only conclusion is the body is amplifying the outrunner motor noise. It could be. And 9 times out of 10, the noise coming, when you get drivetrain noise, it's the spur gear. It's either the spur gear or the pinion gear or the two of them meeting up together. If you have access to it and you don't have to go out and spend money on it, a quick check is get yourself something like this. Smooth is a great one. Squirt is a great one. Smooth is a great one. I don't like the White Lightning, but for an RC application and availability, it would probably work. The night before you know you're going to go out to drive, you shake that up, and it's just wax. It's a carrier with wax. Wax your spur gear and see what the wah-wah sounds like the next day. You can make it really, really, really quiet. But if you wax it the same day, the solvent will not have time to drive, and it'll sling wax all over the inside of your body and all over the inside of your rig, which isn't necessarily a terrible thing. It is just messy. But yeah, spur and pinion is where noise comes from almost all the time. Everything else on any new build, the tube is sticking out. The drag slide, it's so many bike things, and not just because I do bike things. I'd been using dry slide bike aid long before riding bikes, and I'd been using chain wax for things, particularly going back into the paintball days. We'd use both of them, dry lube and wax lube. I'd try that, but it's in the OD3. Oh, then it's not the spur gear. Oh, it might be. It might be mesh. Your mesh could either be too tight or too loose. Too loose, Lautrec. It could be one or the other. And the body is an amplifier pretty much all the time. What did I take apart? I took the mullet apart. I was working on the mullet, and when I had its gearbox out and put the gearbox back in, quieted way down. Because when I removed the spur and put it back on, it must have centered better. So the spur is centered better this time around. But yeah, the body is definitely an amplifier, and sometimes it acts as far more of an amplifier. You get a lot of body noise. But yeah, I definitely well, maybe not in the immediate future, but let's call it the near future, I will be getting the 3D printer. I still, there's some time that's needed before I'm ready to work with the 3D printer again. Me and the 3D printer. And I'm not faulting the 3D printer. That 3D printer printed for like between 60 and 70 hours straight before the fails started. It was just printing and printing and printing and printing. So I don't know. But and also I will want to change filament to like ABS to print those parts out of. And change all the settings, like more walls, more infill, etc., etc. What did I miss? Somebody's saying cliffhanger for sure. Is it way up? What a cliffhanger for sure at Lisa. Yeah, it scrolled by. Oh, next Canyon Live Under the Lights. No, certainly not. I'm not ready for that yet. Also, when we were returning from Anime Expo, we would get home usually between 7 and 8 o'clock, usually each night, and it would be 99 degrees at 7 o'clock at night. It's still 99 degrees. It's on the new built orange truck. I'll post a little video on the Discord of the noises. Yeah, just if you don't own a tube of dry slide, get dry slide. Because I put it on every pivot point, so all the hollow balls, the CVD joints, everywhere. Anything that might move, I put it on there, and it really quiets it down. Why does the Traxxas spur gear have a sleeve for the bore? A lot of them do. Like, a lot of spur gears haven't. So, the answer to that is multifold. The answer to that is because a lot of spur gears date back. Like this is a Kimbrough. So you see the holes in it? The holes are for bearings. For when they're being run in like pan cars. That's how pan cars work. And then the throwback that's inside there, I just got to grab the right one. It's not that one. It's got to be this one. So what that hole is for, I can squeeze the damn thing in, is a bearing. This one is not cooperating. Let me find an easier one. Oh, that's what. You know why a metric bearing won't fit in these? Because they need a standard. Like that. Yeah, like the Vanquish one has a bearing in the middle of it. So most spur gears, pinion gear, for a 5mm shaft. So they just mono-spec'd it for you. So they I'm assuming they give you this, and they give you this, and this goes in here like, well, it goes in the other way. It goes in like this. So it's sleeved because they by just mono-specking, they can fit this on the big motors that have 5mm bores. But once you find the pinion gear that you like, you just go and you order a Robinson Absolute. And then just run a Robinson Absolute. They're the quietest. And they last the longest. Because they're hardened. But yeah, the holes are all from the days of when everything was either a slipper clutch or the gear itself was part of a differential. So, like now, we get dedicated gears like that, which the slipper is this giant thing like this, and they don't ride on anything in the middle. They don't need a bearing or anything. I was genuinely surprised to see the Vanquish spurs coming with a bearing in the middle. Most places don't do that anymore. They'll just do like a plastic spacer or something. I'll definitely invest in some dry slide. Yes. I use Kimbrough in my no prep car with a slipper eliminator. Kimbrough, I will. That is the hill that I will stand upon. Kimbrough makes the best spur gears, and Robinson makes the best pinion gears. If I can fit that gear to a vehicle, I will. The Vanquish slipper spurs, the like dome-shaped ones, are definitely better than the Vanquish that like the 56s, like the gears that come in the VRD. Seems like a weak spot in design. Well, it's just that's decisions made by economists. The 5mm, I have drawers, so the drawers that date way back. 32 pitch 3mm, 32 pitch 5mm. So Traxxas is just saving money. You can get them both. Like Mod 1, there's no such thing as a 3mm bore Mod 1, but you can get 8mm bore Mod 1. We print all the parts for the chassis in PTTGCFOT nylon. Yeah, I definitely don't have that. Or nylon. Got it. I have ABS. I don't know if I have nylon. I don't know. I have like 5 spools of filament over there. One of them will work. And if I break it, I'll just print it again. Because I have to justify buying that printer. I'm not, if I'm going to buy something, I have to make it so that the thing seems worthwhile. Like that it earned its spot. And that printer was not grotesquely expensive. It cost about as much as a crawler, basically. So it's got to get its money's worth out of that thing. So I want to print as many things as I can, no matter how much it irritates me or how little I enjoy the experience. Do I feel like I will ever be ready to try my hand at printing my own inserts? Probably not. Unless I get a 3D genie or a 3D guy just shows up and it goes, I got that. I default to my basic settings, and I will just try to make it. I will just try to make something. I can't hand fabricate a 3D printed insert. If I would, if I could, I would try to build a mold. ABS has toxic vapors. Oh, that's fun. That's fun. Even when just printing it? Oh, yeah, because it has to melt it. Right. Well, then I'm doomed. Because I've been cutting ABS and inhaling the vapors by hand for 20 years. So, I'm doomed. What software do y'all use to program 3D printers? I use the slicer that comes with them. So I use the Creality slicer for my Ender, and I use the, I'm just calling it Qidi, Qidi, Qidi. I'm using the Qidi slicer, which is apparently just their port of the Prusa slicer. That one seems a lot more featured than the kind of bare bones Creality, the one that they give you. ABS, in my experience, doesn't hold up like PETG. Oh, PETG I have, but it doesn't have carbon in it. It's just PETG. Is there an advantage running carbon fiber wheels to add brass low when trying to lighten up a rig? Yeah, sure. Carbon fiber wheels will reduce the rotating mass, and then if you pair that to a big knuckle weight, you'll still have the low weight, but you'll reduce the rotating mass. This will make the vehicle respond more quickly. It will make the suspension respond more quickly. The thing is, a lot of people won't like it. A lot of people get used to that kind of heavy-footedness that crawlers have. It is definitely a per-user experience, like how quick the wheels spool up. Drag brake is a lot easier to engage. You need a lot less force to get your drag brake to work well if your rotating mass goes down. And then people get crazy and they really start chasing it. And don't chase it too far, man. I put the carbon fiber wheels on more for the looks than anything else. Did you make your vehicle spinning work stand? And can we have the specs, please? I'm still trying to get somebody that I know that owns a pickup. It is all made out of scrap pieces of MDF. This is an old top to a speaker box. This is where I had to heat up the filler to pop the filler out so I could unscrew the parts. It should just be a Lazy Susan under there, but it's not. I actually routed 2 grooves with a quarter-inch ball end router and filled it with plastic quarter-inch, like acrylic balls. That's what she spins on. And then I waxed it. This is an ABS tray that is just built to hold yoga blocks. This is Susan. She's held together with a single 6mm bolt down the middle. And she's been in service for a while. She was built because a thing out of necessity, because when I'm working on things, I like to work on them like this. We would set this on here. And when I put a tire on, I just spin her around and I work on that one. And I spin her around and I work on that one. I want to build some more Susans, but sheets of MDF are 49 by 97. They weigh 100 pounds. And I drive a crossover SUV, so I can't get one home. So I need a buddy of mine who drives a pickup, but unfortunately lives in Orange County, to come over here and pick up MDF with me at 50. I think they're about $50 a sheet right now. Can you buy print files for inserts? Yeah, you can get the Too Geek to Be Chic. Erwin has his on Cults. If you look at the Revolt insert test, I have the links to his to the site where you can get his printer files. I think it's $10. I might have to try the bamboo slicer. For designing, nothing. I don't know. Which percent? No, I have a Keedy X Max 3, which is a giant enclosed printer because I needed the print volume. $83 likes to $83 watching. That is a first. Hey. I remember the video of you making Susan. Yeah. This is like her, I don't know, maybe her 5th yoga block. When the yoga blocks start to look a little knackered, this one is starting to look a little knackered. Starting to get a little cut and greasy. We buy these by the 10-pack. So, like, the beauty of the yoga block is when you set a rig on it, it will kind of make itself a spot. So eventually we will... I made it fit extra tight. And then just like that, we move this one over to hold a rig off the ground. Yeah, I never thought I would be a person who was buying yoga block by the 10-pack, but here we are. Would it be okay if I sent you some of my channel stickers? Absolutely. Oh. I set the envelope down. Oh, wait. Hold on. When I opened up the chassis, where did they go? Where did they go? I don't know. They're gone. Yeah, absolutely. Your sticker will go up somewhere over here. People send me stickers from their crawling groups. We've got Sun City Outlaw Crawlers. We've got Motor City Trails and Crawl, established 2024. Of course, Shaker MT's over there. We are gonna go right. Oh yeah, here we go. Let's do this. I have no way to preview. So, oh wait, I kind of do. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold up. Let me get this. Let me block frame here, and we'll get this oriented. There we go. Da-da-ba, ba-da-da, dee-dee-ba-ba-doo. We're not too worried about straightness. There we go. Boom! Whoa, that's not it. Guys who deliver this stuff must be like, this guy's into fitness. What is a yoga block? This is a yoga block. The size I recommend, this is a 6x9x4. The other popular size of yoga block is 6x9x3. If you have portaled rigs, the 6x9x3, when you set a rig on it, like, so this guy's just on class 2s, right? Like, see what I mean? If you get a 6x9, oh, I love the other camera in this shot. 6x9x3s won't be tall enough. So 6x9x4 yoga blocks. When I started buying them, I was buying just the all black ones, and they were so cheap that you could get a 2-pack of them for $8.99. And now they're about $9 each, and I still complain about it kind of actively. But companies that sell RC car stands will charge you like $25 for what is essentially a foam block. And if you know anyone in your life that does yoga, you can give them some yoga blocks, because the more quantity you buy them in, the more the more less you pay for them. I think we ended up paying about, we bought a, did we buy 10 or 20? We bought a 10-pack, and it was like $40. So like $4 a block. And I think there are currently 4 blocks that don't have a rig sitting on them right now. So just got stuck in traffic for 3 hours to get 1 can of TS47 Chrome Yellow. Now I've lost my will to finish my last coats. That sounds right. That sounds right. Yes, yoga blocks do not spin. They do not spin on their own. No, you have to have a Susan. That's why when it comes to paint, I'm so hoping that that can of paint that I got from the Home Depot works for vinyl, and I have a can of blue. Whatever body I paint next is probably going to be painted vinyl blue, because, I mean, that guy, I almost went over and picked him up when I realized I can do this. I can't. Hold on. That guy, that's Krylon Peekaboo Blue, which was a leftover can from when somebody came over here to paint something. So vinyl clear and then Peekaboo Blue. Stupid mini question, but can you cut the blocks with any precision? Yeah, they cut real easy. Yeah, it's basically, so this right here is very, 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 very close to this. That density is remarkably close. This is a little softer. But theoretically, if you were really good at it, I think all of that is like EVA foam or PVA foam, whatever they call it. I think you could cut inserts out of yoga blocks if you had something very precise to do it. Jeffrey, those are Revolt. Those are Erwin from Belgium. That's that guy. Which will be a build at a point. At a point. Sometime. We'll do that build sometime. I don't think we've dropped it. We're getting near the end, and I can tell because my stomach has started growling. My wife started doing factor meals, and it's working. She's lost 10 pounds. My wife started doing factor meals, and because we've been at Anime Expo for 3 days, factor meals arrive. You get them weekly, and she has 7 meals left over and only 1 day. So I'm going to be having a factor for lunch and a factor for dinner, which means I will go to bed angry, as I will be down probably 1,500, between 1,500 and 2,000 calories on the day. As we stand here speaking together right now, I have had probably like 1,100 calories for the whole day. And SpongeBob, I'm a big man. I'm a big man. I can't live. Yeah. Wait a minute. You got an email from Factor about a sponsorship, didn't you? No, I would. You know what? Factor I would do. And I saw a channel recently that only had 15,000 subs, and he was doing an ad for Factor. Because you know what? I don't want to do a pre-ad for Factor. I don't want to feel like I'm giving away the milk without you having to buy the cow. But if I'll eat it, it can't be too bad. They do load it up with green beans. So many green beans. So if you don't want green beans, like, watch out. But I had some kind of chicken. It was like a chicken breast today. It was good. It wasn't that it was good for a prepackaged meal that came from the internet. It was just good. I would probably try to eat 2, but, you know, here we are. To maintain my weight, I'm probably putting down 3,500 calories a day. I am reasonably active, so I'm not, yeah, I do love food. I would just eat too much of it. Where'd he go? Where'd who go? Where'd who go? Yeah, Factor meals are nice. You just need 2 per meal, yeah. My wife eats you get them at the Costco. They are the Delights, the English muffin breakfast sandwich that's only like 280 calories. She has that with a cup of coffee for breakfast, Factor meal for lunch, Factor meal for dinner. She's intaking about 1,500 calories a day. It's just portion control. It's just buying portion control. You got to order with the coupon codes. Yeah, well, this is her thing. She has a personal trainer. She wears expensive daily contact lenses, and she does Factor meals. That's her thing. What's my thing? You're standing in it, baby. It's toy car nonsense. So we've got our thing. Down, Jamie Parker down 89 pounds. Oh, how did I do it, you ask? My body Wilford Brimley'd me. Oh. That's diabetes, isn't it? It's the diabetes. Yeah, I don't want to get the diabetes. I love sugar. Sugar's so good. I have never had heroin, but I can't imagine because sugar is so good. Sugar, I would argue, because heroin has this wonderful ability to kill everybody that uses it eventually. Sugar, I think, also kills everybody that uses it eventually. But it takes a long time, and baby, you can eat a lot of it. A lot. You know how much sugar is in a single can of soda? So much it terrify you. It would terrify you. I think sugar addiction is probably it might not be the deadliest, it might not be the anything, but the sugar has to be the most common addiction. I think people that like 6-pack a day people, I was a 6-pack a day man, and I thought that it was the caffeine. It's not the caffeine, it's the sugar. I also have that thing where fake sugar tastes like chemicals to me. So, like diet sodas, anything artificially sugared is not palatable. It tastes like a plastic. I don't like it. I don't like it. I've met a couple other people. I put it in the thing of the cilantro gene where people think cilantro tastes like soap. To me, when I get fake sugar, all it tastes like is fake sugar. So for better or worse, the wife has no problem with fake sugar. She can handle the fake sugar, no problem, which is why she can lose weight, and I'm stuck here in the middle. But how did you lose the weight, Jay? I think I can speak for him in this one. They took everything away from him. They took all of the great joys in life, like white bread and white sugar. And they took, and beer, because beer is just liquid bread. They took it all away from him in one fell swoop. And he has, because the diabetes gives you no rebound. I lost carbonation in one day when I was 40 years old. Couldn't have another carbonated beverage again for the rest of my life. So I was a 6-pack a day Dr. Pepper man. That is like 1,500 hollow calories a day, and I lost it all at once. So I got fat. I got proper fat because I replaced those 1,500 calories with solid calories. Food. I ate a lot of food. And I got pretty portly. And then I lost it all myself. And then I'm in a middle-level portly. I weigh about the same now I did when I was like my late 20s. Oh, 1,000 to 1,200 a day. Then he's not done at 89 pounds. He's going to keep going. Oh, man. That's rough. Yeah, beer is liquid bread. I have an associate. There is a gentleman that I know, and I have known him for a long time. And he is on here it comes, keto diet. That dude drinks beers all day, including like homebrew IPAs. Keto. Tell me where the intersection of keto and IPA is. Baby, it doesn't exist. Here's that Venn diagram. Keto and IPAs. You're not getting any. They're like this. So, yeah. I learned to be comfortable with hunger, and it's working well for me. No. Hunger makes me filled with rage. I'm still young. I can't gain weight no matter what I do. Hey, Mr. Spain, let me tell you something. When I graduated high school, I was 6'2" tall, and I weighed 140 pounds. In European units, that would be what? 60 kilos? Maybe under 60 kilos? Between 50 and 60 kilos. By the time I was 25 years old, I was 6'2", and I weighed 230 pounds. That's called metabolism. I know that you folk over in Europe, you eat better than we do over here in America. See, here's the difference. Here's the difference. Let me break down the difference to the Europeans in the crowd. You guys live longer and are thinner because you eat better food. We are more powerful than you because we eat garbage all day long and survive. Like, everything here is processed, man. Like, the food here is delicious. And there is definitely an overlap between how delicious is it, how bad is it for me. That we've got a big overlap of that here. RC Crawling Addict has weighed 175 pounds for 40 years. Well, you guys have the metabolism that never slowed down. Mine did. I keep telling my son, who is 6'3", and I'm hoping that his doesn't slow down. Because I had one grandfather, who I'm kind of built like now, and I had one grandfather that my youngest memories as a pre-youth were of him looking exactly the same as he always did. I swear that man weighed the same weight my entire life that I knew him. The calorie chart is a joke. Where's the chemical chart? A 5-second Harbor Freight ad. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, all food is chemicals. But, I mean, we mean like bad chemicals. Yeah. Preservatives. Don't you being able to drink from the garden hose? Yeah, and now all of the garden hoses say don't drink out of this because it's got lead in it. American bread can't be sold in Europe because it isn't considered bread. That's true. Yeah, I am of that category where the weight has yo-yoed a bit over time, right? And then I get to a stasis point, and it's when I decide that I want that stasis point to be lower, that I have to make that lifestyle change. And making the lifestyle change, unless you're hit with Mr. Parker's, the lifestyle change is foisted upon you, and you don't have a choice. Making and maintaining that lifestyle change is hard. You can lose weight and maintain weight by doing whatever. You could eat nothing but Hostess cupcakes all day and lose weight if you just are burning more calories than you're putting in your body. That's what it comes down to. It doesn't matter how bad the food is in America. What matters is the caloric density is so high that when we eat something, like they have the little calories on the backs of the little single serving things, and this many Cheez-Its is 250 calories. We don't realize that we're just shoving calories into our body all day. So the alternatives, eat an orange, 70 calories, and then be hungry 15 minutes later, and then eat another orange, and then that doesn't work, so you grab a handful of potato chips and you cram those in your body, and that is the cycle of a person that weighs too much. I was one of the fools that thought exercise would lose weight, and it doesn't. Exercise just makes you more hungry. The dude points to his head and says, this is where weight loss comes from. And it's true. It's true. Any diet, no matter what diet somebody is on, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. You have to change your lifestyle. I don't want to get a soapbox out here, but if you're keto, if you're carnivore, if you eat nothing but carbs, if you are on a bread diet, as long as the input is lower than the output, you'll lose weight. As long as the input is the same as the output, you will maintain weight. That's what it comes down to. Because if it didn't, we would all either waste away to nothing or we would expand until we exploded. And we don't. We tend to fit a spot. I eat 3,500 calories a day. And I've been at right about this same weight since I stopped cycling, 2 years. Hey, Jeff at the Temple. You have what I have. If Sal Trippin burned more calories eating than his food can provide, he'd be dead. You cannot constantly operate in a full-blown deficit. Your body will go into survival mode, and you will become frail and incapable of performing mechanical tasks. So you may have a high metabolism, you may burn food at a great rate, but I guarantee you, my friend, you start putting quarts of Haagen-Dazs in the microwave and melting them and drinking them, you'll gain weight. Or you'll poop yourself into a coma. It depends. Your body might be really serious about it. Were you on the bag? No. My GI lady is a tiny little Asian doctor. She basically came up to my elbow. She said she is what they call a top ender. That's where I got my diverticulitis. I don't get the kind where my guts go bad on me. I get the kind where I just throw up a lot. And I guess that's a silver lining. So I just have an extremely restricted diet. Yeah, and I mean trading in food for cars. Oh, no. Jeffrey, I have to disagree. It's not that I don't think we suck at portioning. I think it's that we don't recognize the caloric density because all the food is processed and filled with preservatives so it'll last longer, more shelf stable, etc. We would all lose a bunch of weight if we just started if you went on an Italian style diet and just made yourself pasta with sauce and ate that every day and you controlled your portions, you would X number of calories of pasta is a lot. And you throw some broccoli on the side, you're going to get full. But we've been trained by foods where you replace something this size. This is now not a tire, but it's a donut. So this is a donut. It's going to have 450 calories. And you're going to eat one and you're going to go, it didn't even fill up any space. And I feel my body tells me I'm hungry, or my brain tells my body that I'm hungry, but I just crammed 500 calories down inside me, which should sustain me for 6 or 7 hours, but doesn't. I eat a lot because if I don't eat a lot, I feel like crap. And I would have to punch through that. I would have to make a change to lifestyle. And I don't want to. There's the Skeletor meme. Any of you who have been on the internet, you know the Skeletor meme, where he comes in, says something you don't want to hear, and then says, "Until next time," and then he runs down a tunnel. Skeletor says, the median lifespan in America is 76. So middle age isn't 50, it's 38. Until next time. And then he runs away. So yeah, I passed midlife a long time ago. I am more dead than alive, and I am not going to diet myself thin unless something terrible happens to me and tells me that I have to. I will be a fatalist, and I will drive forward into it. I don't overeat. I'm not like, you guys have seen this much of me. You can tell, I think, that these are not the arms and hands of an grotesquely, morbidly obese man. At least I don't think they are. I lift heavy things a lot. 86.3, still sitting at 62, so it's still like 92 degrees in here. I can handle it. I haven't had a diverticulitis flare-up since I was diagnosed, so it has been 12 years. I used to any of you diverticulitis folks, I got really good at throwing up. Like, I got used to it. I didn't know what was wrong with me. I just thought I got sick around holidays from overdoing it. Because it was always holidays. I would get sick at Easter. I would get sick at Christmas. I would get sick at everything. And I just thought it was me. And then I figured out medically that it wasn't me. It was the stuff inside my guts making me throw up. So I don't eat a lot of things. There's a lot of things I can't eat anymore. I can't have popcorn. Nothing carbonated. Can't have pasta sauce. There's a lot of things I can't have. So I tend to eat more of the things that I can have. Ash G, I could not mentally withstand editing hours and hours of video if I had to look at my own face. It took about 6 months of video editing to get used to listening to the sound of my own voice. And I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it because, as I pointed out, if you want to ruin everything for everybody, and I like to ruin everything for everybody. Okay, how small is Tony if he's running a 46 bar? Wait, is that small? No, that's a big bar. My wife runs a real small bar. My wife runs a 40, and we almost got her a 39. No, a 46 is a big one. I had pizza, and 12 hours later, I was in surgery. Oh, that's way better. Yeah, you got it. You got the way better. That means worse. You got the way worse kind than I did. I would just throw up until I had to go into the emergency room, and they would put me on the bags of ringers, and then I would fall asleep on the table, and then I would wake up, and the little nurse guy would be all, "You took 3 liters, man. Like, you are violently dehydrated. I'm going to need you to go to the bathroom." And I would say, "There's no way I can go to the bathroom, dude. I've been throwing up for like 16 hours straight." And then I would pee for like 2.5 minutes straight. And then they put me in the x-ray. And then she said, "You see what these little white dots are?" And I said, "That's diverticulitis." And she said, "You're absolutely right. It is." I said, "I get to keep it for the rest of my life, don't I?" She said, "You're absolutely right. You do." So I miss pasta sauce. I miss Snicker bars. I miss a lot of things. Oh, hey, how did you know? I do run a 46. Yeah, poisoning. Yeah, your body thinks it's being poisoned. And I would throw up and throw up and throw up and throw up until I finally would give up. And then they were like, and I was doing everything bad for myself. Dr. Pepper, pizzas with the red sauce, orange juice, all the stuff I'm not allowed to have. And I stopped. Oh, beans. Oh, God, do I miss beans. Dear God, maybe more than anything else, I miss beans. They smell good. I know how good they taste. I know that I cannot eat them. Because every once in a while, I'm sure Jeff does not, because Jeff has had a far more significant impact on his life than I have. But every once in a while, I will test it. Oh, yes. It is our human nature to test it. and I will think just a couple. I'm eating the leftover nachos that my wife had. There's just a little beans in there. I'll be fine. Fast forward 45 minutes later, curled up in the fetal position on the bed or the ottoman, wishing for death. Mike Jones, I'm here to ruin more things for you, and that is this. We're all going to get it. Pretty much everyone, save for some, will develop diverticulitis to some degree throughout their life. You're usually going to get it as you get much older. I got mine at 40, which is very early for an onset of diverticulitis. But, and this is speculation, but if you notice the regularity that I post videos, have you noticed? Like, there seems to be, it's pretty common how long it goes. Before that, I rode a bicycle, and I would ride a bicycle virtually every day. I am a slave to these things right here, the activity bars and the steps and all that stuff. I closed my rings every day for several years in a row because I don't get sick. I prescribe to I don't know if it's real science or pseudoscience, but there is a belief that virtually every condition you get starts in the area they call the gut, starts in the gut. You don't get it from stuff going up your nose. Your mouth kills almost everything that goes in it. You get it in your gut, right? The stuff makes it down, it's absorbed through the cell wall, and you get ill. The flu, I thought you inhaled it and it got in your lungs and it got you sick. No, apparently you get it from your gut. So there's no room down there. It's a goddamn battlefield down there. It is a scene of death and destruction. I take digestive enzymes and acid reducers every single morning. Every morning. Because if I don't, I won't be able to poop or eat food. I can get raging acid reflux from baby carrots. So, who said? Mark Saxton asked, what can I eat? Barely anything. I can eat like a European, but I refuse. So, anything, what I do is I try. Anything that doesn't make me ill, I eat. So, even if it was a food that in my former life, there was the life of before 40, before diverticulitis, and then there was the life after. Anything that I can eat, I will, because that's a part of the mental stumbling block of like diet, changing my life through diet, because my body took everything away from me. That trying to control it, trying to tell myself, you're not allowed to have processed this. You're not allowed to have white sugar anymore. I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't want to go so far as to say I would rather die, but on some level, there is definitely a germ of truth to I would rather die. I've lived 12 years now with most of the things that I liked taken away from me. I can't take the rest of it away from me. It got to the point, well, like Steel City Crawlers, where it didn't matter what I ate. If I ate, and in my mind, in my vision, the human stomach is a Looney Tunes cartoon where your stomach is shaped like a kidney shape, and there's that pool of acid in the bottom, and when you eat food, it falls down and it lands in the pool of acid and it makes a splash. That's what the stomach looks like, because the reality of it is way worse. I could eat anything and get raging acid reflux. So I take the, I don't know which one it is. It's a generic, it's from Costco, every day. I feel like an old person talking about it, but I have a buddy of mine that is almost 20 years younger than me, and he has acid reflux just as bad as me. And I was like, just wait till they tell you can't have pasta sauce anymore. Back on the bike with an ESC and brushless. I'm 47 and everything you're saying is so true. Yeah. Oh, here's the deal. Here's the deal. Because I think I'm speaking mostly. Mike Jones asked what causes the disease. We all get it. I think I'm speaking to most of my brethren. We're getting all this now, right? My acid reflux didn't start until like omeprazole. Yeah. It didn't start until like 2 years ago. I see Instagram reels of millennials complaining about how they can't have milk anymore and they can't have this. And I'm like, you guys are 30. You're like 31. I made it 20 years longer than you before I lost my ability to eat that stuff. So I don't know what would have happened to me if I had lost my ability to eat all these things in my 20s or 30s. I had a good run. Ash G, we are just, I put some parts on a 10 Pro because I need to film that episode tomorrow. I put these inside out Boom Racing Hustlers because we need to do a dumb. So the twins will be testing right set out and inside out Boom Racing Hustlers against each other because, you know, stupid. And glad to see still alive. The coast is 66 degrees. Yeah, less than 10 miles away, it's 85. Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah. Like Disney, when you think Disneyland, everybody's like, oh, Orange County. That's where the beach is. At Disneyland now, it's probably 90 degrees. Where'd I put my phone? I can tell you, I have it. I'm a SoCal resident, so I know I have Anaheim. It says 85 in Anaheim, but 74 in Huntington Beach. Palm Springs is 115. Laughlin's 118. It's a hottin'. It is a hottin'. Yeah. Infants are on antacids. Man. Diets and disease, man. I mean, what do we expect? Right? I didn't even get the party hardy. I didn't even go through. I didn't have that phase. I didn't do that. I've never drank. I don't smoke. I don't do any drugs except caffeine in the morning and, well, sugar. Sugar is a drug, and I do a lot of it. So, yeah, I do drugs. Sugar. And all the pills I have to take in the morning so that I can eat that sugar. And the rest of the food that I eat during the day. But you know what? I've quoted him before. I'll quote him again far into the future. As the poet and philosopher Joe Walsh said, I can't complain, but sometimes I still do. Life's been good to me so far, and it has. If the worst thing I can complain about is that I can't eat beans or have Snicker bars, then you know what? I'm doing all right. Every other problem is self-made. I just keep on keeping on. And what's worse? What is worse? Not knowing that there's a problem and just pushing forward, or knowing there's a problem and just willfully just denying it. Just be like, nope. Yeah, I know it. I know I eat bad. I know I don't sleep enough. I sleep 5.5 hours a day. It's not enough. I'm constantly tired. I can fall asleep at any time. At absolutely any time, I could just fall asleep. And my wife hates me for it. She goes, she says, you're asleep before your head touches the pillow. And I go, yeah, I am tired all the time. Forever. The goat, he screams like a man. I'm so tired. Tired all the time. And hungry. I'm so hungry. Oh, caught it. I caught this one. And skip ads. But no, for real though. I just got a text from the wife that said, you're not, whiskey and cigars fixes many ailments. I think that's what they call an overcorrect. I'm making some effort not to overcorrect too far back the other way. And also, I don't know if you've noticed, but the building that we're in right now has like 70 remote control cars in it. I didn't ride a bicycle for probably a 20-year span and then rode 7,000 miles in the first year and 56,000 miles in the first 5 years. Just under 6 years, 56,000 miles. I don't want to say that when I go into something, I go all into that thing. But what I'm saying is, yes, don't give me whiskey, because what if I like it? What if I like it? Then that's it. No more live streams. No more working on toy cars. We're doing whiskey now. It's not, they're not all mine and they're not all crawlers. I started in RC when I was like 13 years old and have been accumulating them for decades. But, yeah, I recommend most people stay to about 3. More RC cars, less whiskey. RC cars are the new Golf. They're gonna keep us sane, I hope. I am gonna eat. God, I'm trying to think. I should eat another Factor meal. Should I eat another Factor meal? Or should I just fill the air fryer full of Dino Buddies and just eat Dino Buddies and Doritos? Because the part of me that is 12 is alive and well. And the more I talk about it, my stomach is doing the Homer Simpson. It's growling, Dino Buddies. I think I'm going to eat Dino Buddies like a 12-year-old with some Doritos or some spicy Tostitos. Whatever strikes my fancy in the moment. Addictive personality disorder, I have it also, and OCD. Yeah, I don't have OCD. Things, as I say to the wife, that's not abnormal. Sometimes we just want things to be orderly. I never have to, like, turn a doorknob 8 times. I have a buddy of mine that one of my favorite things is I'll wait until we've almost walked into a store, and I'll turn to him and I'll say, did you lock your car? Oh, it's so fun. It's so fun. Never let me know you have a weakness. I threw a wasp nest at that guy once because he flinched when I was taking a dead wasp nest out from under an eave. Just a dead nest. He flinched. He like took a step back and I was like, that's all I need. That's all I need forever. I'm coming at you. So he's got the turn the doorknob thing. So I'll be like, did you lock your car? And then he has to walk all the way back to his car to make sure it's locked. Oh, it's hilarious. I love it. And surprisingly, he has never tried to slip me beans or something and make me send me to the emergency room. Yeah, I'm glad that my OCD is, some people have problems with control. Man, let me tell you something. You said a lot in those 6 words. Some people have problems with control because you can interpret that in a lot of ways. Some people have problems with control, parentheses, not enough. Some people have problems with control, parentheses, too much. Some people have problems with control, parentheses, about other people. Yeah. I think you might be able to refine that down even further. We can really distill that and just drop the sum. People have problems with control. People don't like being controlled. Some people like to control other people. I would totally slip you beans if I had OCD and you did that. Did you lock your car? Are you sure? Good stuff. Yeah, I don't know how many people. I will part with a story that I might have told before where I worked with a guy doing termite control. And that dude lit one cigarette with the cigarette he was currently smoking. I believe they used to call them chain smokers. They don't really much exist anymore because who could afford it? Who could afford a 2-pack-a-day cigarette habit? Like, that's probably bigger than my RC habit. So he was probably a 2.5-pack-a-day man. And I said, you need to kick that shit. And I go, not for your health, just for the finances of it. Just for the finances of it. I go, I'm paying less on a car than you're smoking in a day. And he was like, that's not true. And like a week later, he showed back up and he was like, he goes, you were right, dude. You were right. He goes, I was spending $700 a month on cigarettes. And he quit smoking and he bought himself a Toyota. There it is. So quit drinking, develop a crippling RC crawler habit. Consider yourself an enabler of the best kind. I do my very best. An Ender Farm? You should do a server. Make a server so I can go on it. I just sit over here and make ground flat. I make ground flat and I build walls and I take over villages. That's all I do. Yes, tobacco costs more than dope. Only beans are on the throttle. Oh no. I might have to wood burn that one. $10 a pack. Yeah, I have a buddy that vapes, and the only reason he vapes is because he used to smoke those jarums, which are apparently like inhaling knives, as they tell me. And he was spending $10 a day on cloves, which is not nearly the $700 a month the other dude was blowing on cigarettes. But I don't know if I spend $700 a month on average doing all of this. Like, if we break it down annually, I mean, I buy cameras, I buy computers, I buy monitors, I buy microphones, all that stuff. If we separate the YouTube from the crawler stuff, I mean, admittedly, it's the 6th of July. But like those rails that I put on the 10 Pro, I bought those last month. I haven't even bought any. I don't think I have bought anything RC related in July. That's like I should get a chip. I should have a crawler sobriety chip. I haven't spent money on crawlers in 6 days. All right. I am legitimately hungry. And as I mentioned, my wife messaged me to say, "Are you still streaming?" 23 minutes ago. So I probably should have stopped 23 minutes ago. A pack of 20 series, $35? No way. Who's it? So if you see somebody smoking in New Zealand, you can be pretty sure that person is independently wealthy. Tire review tomorrow. 2.2 Baja Pro X. Denial is the first, second, and last step. Just deny, deny, deny. Day after that, mullet. Day after that, probably 10 Pro. Day after that, Wheelin' Wednesday. Day after that, Hustler versus Inside Out Hustler. And then we're live streaming again. Boom, you're here now. Next thing you know, we'll be here again. Time is wild, yo. I'm going to go eat Dino Buddies. I recommend you go all eat something similar. Or it is up to 87 inside the... you know what I'm going to do? Very shortly after this concludes, which will be here in just a moment, on the Discord and the community board for YouTube, I am going to take a picture of the thermometer in the canyon, and I'm going to post it on both so you can see. Inland, bro, inland. You're going to see what it looks like. Then I'm going to go inside the house. I'm going to play Minecraft. I'm going to watch a movie. I'm going to eat Dino Buddies. It's going to be a fantastic day. It's going to be it's been fantastic up till now. And I needed this because I've spent the last couple days doing stuff I didn't want to do, and this is the thing I did want to do. So thank you for joining me for it. I thought my voice would have given out before now, but we did it. We did the thing. We did it all together. Susan, play us out. I'm going to see you all when I see you all. I'm going to click the button that says stop.